some
You know,
days.
you were
All in there.
I was. All right.
we're less rare in the game.
Hi, everybody. We are getting started.
start?
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny every week. Every week it's
'cause
funny.
We've done it every week for like a year.
I know. Just keeps getting better. I just love it so much.
I
So,
know.
we are playing some D&D tonight. We'll be playing the ongoing campaign for the Dawnforged company. Our band of intrepid adventurers have recently freed the city of Khirn from its awful tyranny. In fact, they have freed it so much that they deposed the king, killed his body, put his soul in a robot body, and then... Oh, hey, the monk egg. Good to see you here. You were... Hey, that's awesome. So we've had some people stopping in from Twitter and stuff from the DM Emporium. We are, if you're wondering, this is the official D&D stream for the DM Emporium, thedmemporium.com. That's our new website we launched with all DM accessories and all sorts of good, wonderful things. Go check it out if you want. We will not mind.
Yeah. Buy a t-shirt.
For the new...
Buy some dice.
If you're new here, our player characters are, we have a few different people. We have Bloodscale, the Silver Dragonborn Barbarian, played by our good buddy Brandon. We have Jess playing the Zephyr Nifzet. She is a druid who is also a tiefling, and you'll learn more about her backstory as we go. All the backstories you'll learn about more. And then we've got my brother, TJ, playing Vicer Guile. He is a human sorcerer who... just one day found out how magic he was.
Pretty much. Small note for new audience members. He was raised in a town with dwarves and humans and has a Scottish-ish accent. It's kind of like a weird regional. It's
It's from a different. It's from a fantasy region.
It's meant to not exactly be Scottish, so please don't hate me for being like wrong. Anyway.
And then we have lastly, and the latest joiner to the party, Uza Skrael, who is picking up other names as he goes. So he's all the way up to Uza Balanar Skrael, and he is a Aarakocra, but in this campaign, all Aarakocra started out their lives as Kenku until the Dawnforged company broke the curse of the Kenku, in which reawoken them into their Aarakocra form. And so he recently joined the party after his awakening, and yeah. He is 8 and delightful.
I am 8.
So, last time when we left our party, they had begun the rebuilding of Khirn, starting with...
Sorry, real quick,
Yeah.
we should talk about the Ratman.
The Ratman. Oh, yes. There is a constant companion NPC. His name is Mesnos. He is... So, part of... the backstory for Zephyr is that he was a demon assigned by her father to go and collect her, or well, to hire a band of adventurers to come and collect her from hell and get her out of there, but he was too late and he owes her a life debt, so he tried to possess the body of the sorcerer, missed, and ended up in a rat body. And then during the same ceremony that released the curse on the Kenku, he was standing at ground zero, and all that magical energy fused his demon form to his mouse form, so he's kind of more of a rat folk person. And he follows everybody around. He is a warlock who has just found out how to awaken his true form, which is crazy as hell. All right, let's see. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think so. It'll be good. All right.
Oh, and I have a small fairy
yes.
dragon named Faf. May or may not show up.
Yeah,
He
so
does as he wishes.
Baff is a flighty little guy who uses his invisibility to come in and out of existence and be, you know, all around hilariously a pain. Let's see. Other than that, I think the only thing we're missing is Maverick. He is a token that comes up. Yeah, he is Splinter.
He's hiding right now.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid to set him loose now because I almost lost him.
Yeah.
Did lose him.
Oh yeah, and the Kenku, when they first got unleashed, there was 4 of them, and they bought them different color headbands that matched all of the TMNT. All right. So, last time, you guys had started what would now become known as let me pull it up here, the Golden Rebirth, where the 3 druids in the city, Zephyr included, have gone through the process of awakening those reviving and what's the word I'm looking for? Reincarnating. There it is. Anybody who had been trampled or killed or during the disturbance in Khirn, in which they overthrew the king and set the Council of 13 to rule in his place. It was decided that the Council of 13 would acknowledge all copied people who they were calling the Deller Sarek. They're basically copies of souls that have been absorbed by the Zealer Akim, these crystals on the roof of the city that capture soul echoes. And the king and the Duergar helping him had found a way to put them in metal bodies. So they met different copies of various people they'd already met, and were still alive. So they are not the person, but but are they? Who knows? It was decided that they would be considered citizens of Khirn, including Tuza, Uza's soul reflection echo that had been put into a dwarf body.
Twinsies.
Because you need twins.
No, clones and twins are not the same.
I mean, technically, a twin would be closer related to you than a metal rep. We're not going to get into it. No. But in order to keep up and do this as often as possible, Zephyr Nifset has been taking sleeping draughts to make herself go to sleep, which she's been warned there might be adverse effects of, but she's using it to force her body into long rests to regain her spell slots. Mesnos has been watching over her while she sleeps, while everybody's been kind of getting into various misadventures. The rogue has been breaking off drift globes from the beds of the royalty, and he's stolen 2 now.
2.
And he has 2 in his backpack, which everybody's just pretending like they don't see right now because he is a hero who saved the city. And then
I have one in my backpack and the other's in the bag of holding.
That's true. And then
Heavy.
Bloodscale has been recently given a new friend. One of the resurrected people came back as a golden dragonborn. His name is Renfrey, and he's being taught how to be dragonborn by Bloodscale. And let's see. Other than that, let's see, what else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm forgetting it.
Lassom Kladik, he refused to come back to life.
Oh, Lassam, we're part of Claddock's clan. Lazam, Lazam, was one of the people who was tried to be resurrected, and Soul chose not to come back to life. And so that it was weighing heavily on Zephyr right now. All right. So let's pick it up from the point where Zephyr, you'd just gone to sleep, and Mesnos is watching over you. Uza, you were doing when we ended? You were hanging out with Tuza, I think.
Let's see here. Oh no,
Time was like 9 p.m.
Yeah, it was getting later in the day.
To see if one of the Deller Sarek, if there was a copy of Zephyr, since Tuza could add powers, then maybe if there's a copy of Zephyr
that's right. Okay, so you're headed upstairs to check on any of the Deller Sarek.
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. And then Vicer, I think you had just gone to bed early, or were you still eating in the hall?
It's like the middle of the day, isn't it? Or...
No, it was
it's
the
9
end of the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably went to bed.
Perfect. Okay, so you're in bed, and then I think Bloodscale was just shrugging off Renfrey to go up there. So we'll take it up with Uza. You start heading up the Miles staircase up to the top of the mountain, where the factory for the Deller Sarek had been created. And when you get to the top, there is in the room you see most of the Deller Sarek have come back and kind of nestled back into their place, and they seem to be their version of asleep. You do see Tuza right where you met him, kind of waiting to. He just kind of seems to be you'd associate with off. You do see Rashildalin is kind of just wandering around. He doesn't normally. He has a. Normally, you'd like when you saw him just kind of bothering or thinking he had his knife out, but he's just kind of wandering around. He's looking at everything, and seems to be like lording kind of over this stone. And you see Gimzek, or it's the wrong character. Gimzek is at the stone trying to, seems to be doing something.
Okay, I'm gonna hang back and just kind of. Are the Rash and Gimzik talking, or?
They don't seem to be talking. It seems like Gimzek is doing a lot of work while Rashidlin is kind of pacing, kind of waiting.
Is he looking more at Gimzik or at the Delar Sarik?
He is looking at the big giant crystal, the focusing crystal, as you know it.
I'm gonna walk up to him and whisper, Are they sleeping?
Who are you whispering to?
Rash.
Ash? Well, I don't know. I think it's the equivalent of there's some sort of recharge that they have to do, but yeah, they seem most comfortable to do it when they're doing that. It's a little creepy, but you know.
Yeah. Any new people come out? Gimzik?
Well, we haven't been able to create any more, but me and Gimzek have been working on trying to find my family and seeing if maybe we can find an echo and trying to figure out how they even got close to finding people, because they were able to get a lot of the council, and I think you were part of the experimentation of what they were doing. Maybe they were going to interrogate you before they let it go or whatever, but I don't know. We're just he knows more what's going on than I do. I don't know, can't sleep.
That's fair. Is anyone taking a census, making a log of who comes out?
Yeah, your friend Bloodscale wrote down everybody, and they've all been registered with the scribe master, so they're official citizens. A lot of them ended up sharing houses, or jobs more than really anything. That the people they say they feel most comfortable resting when they come here. So we've been trying to figure out what to do with that. And Gimzek's he's been working like 24 hours a day trying to figure out how he could recreate these in another place. But he thinks there's something to do with the closeness to the Zila Rakim. I don't understand it.
Maybe just give everybody wings and they can fly up here.
Well, I mean, it would save the staircase, and yeah, I won't object to some wings. What about you? What the hell have you been doing all day?
Well, I found out that Tuza over there could cast some of the same spells that I could, so I was kind of hoping to see if there was a Zephyr robot.
Well,
with the reincarnation.
I mean, we could see if we could find an echo of her and maybe try to start this place up again, but unfortunately what we got from the original census is who we're stuck with for now.
Okay. Well, I don't want to start anything up without
you know what, it's
from the council. It's a lot. Like, I don't want to be a dad. I'm not ready for that.
Well, I mean, it looks like you're already a brother, so well, how much worse could it be? And
It's true, he's my second brother.
Oh, you had a first brother? What's he doing?
Yeah. He's hanging out with my god.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't be. He was dead, but then now he's not dead. I think.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he's not dead.
You know what? I got family kind of in between right now, so I'll for once give this a pass, and good for you, man.
Thanks. I hope it works out with your family too. Talk you up to a Kadi. She seems to hook some people up.
Yeah, not interested in gods right now.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
As soon as if we can bring back even copies of my wife and kids, I consider it a win.
Copies is kind of a harsh word. But don't know what else to call them, right?
Well, I've been thinking about that. I mean, if I was, you more than anybody must have thought about this. Well, what if you were him and you woke up like one day and you were just them? You wouldn't know any different. You wouldn't think of yourself any different until you were forced to, because the whole "there's two of you" thing. But if there wasn't two of you, you'd just go around your business and just be you again, right?
Wake up as normal.
So I'm gonna, I don't know. Let's see if we can even find him. So, anyway, man, I'm sure you came up here for something important.
Well, looking for the Zephyr.
Okay.
Win. Copy.
I'll
Robot.
run it past Gimzek when he gets a second, if you like.
Oh yeah, just if he finds one, great, but I don't know. I don't want to play God too much. I've made too many harsh decisions in this room.
Well, harsh decisions have been are the only ones I've made for far too long now. So I completely understand. And he kind of like he goes to like pat your shoulder, but you're so tall that he just ends up like patting you on the knee. Or no, you're not. You're
I'm
close
5
to his
foot
side.
tall.
Yeah, that's right. You're he reaches up and kind of pats you on the shoulder.
Kind of slyly lean down. Well, if you want, I know you're not big into the God thing, but I can pray for you. I'm gonna try and figure out how to not do it with, or I'm gonna try to figure out how to do it without getting struck by lightning this time.
Your God sounds more complicated than I'm interested, but if you want to, I won't say no. And how's that dagger treating you? You tried it out yet?
I have not had the need to stab anyone.
That's good.
But
That's very good.
I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Can like utilitarian wise, if I were to cut my own hand, could I absorb my own shadow and be extra stealthy?
No, but what you can, let's see, I believe I was able to make it so you can absorb the shadow that you do absorb, that you steal from other people to give yourself some little bonus to that.
Okay, so I'll just have to stab our barbarian.
You know, he seems like he could take it. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he seems usually pretty cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, if he lets you stab him, I don't see why not that wouldn't work.
Deadpool, I have to go real quick. My dog is chewing on something they're not supposed to.
Oh no, go get him. All right, so,
And those just tuning in, Deadpool is when a player needs to say something out of character or out of game for clarification.
yes, yeah. So, with
Breaking
that,
the fourth wall, as it were.
yeah. Oh, hey,
I do.
our barbarian is back.
Shatter that fool.
What's up, fuckers?
All right, so, with that, let's see. Everybody else is gone to sleep, correct?
I think so. The Mokoji has a question.
Oh, yes. The Mokai? Oh, Mokaji. Looks, yes, yeah. It works out as a great cue. And then we use Cable to go back because we started playing by Cable and Deadpool was a comic back in the day. It was awesome. It was meant to be like a robot producing factory to create this immortal, or sleeping, uneating, controllable dwarvish army by using the copies of the souls in the Zealer Akeem. So kind of, yeah, pretty close to that. And it was thwarted, luckily. So... Alright, so the rest of you sleep well through the night. Now, Zephyr, you taking the drought, you're, instead of getting the next time when you wake up, you feel like you've been run over by a truck. You know you got a long rest, but it feels like you just blinked and then your body hurt, even though you're in that super nice bed. You can feel like every joint as you wake up.
Oh, God. Thought has attacked me. Jeez.
You okay?
Oh, that was worse than the night with the fire whiskey. The 4 barrels of it.
Oh, God. Well, do you need a little hair of the dog? And he kind of hands you over his flask.
Yeah, give it.
Very well. I replenished it in the night. I went to our private store and checked on the horses.
Oh, thank you. And I take a quick swig, but not like a full shot.
He takes one too, and he's like, "It is not necessarily altruistic. It's in need. Some more." He kind of like shakes it and puts it back into his little. And the rest of you, as you're waking up, you wake up relatively around the same time since y'all went kind of to bed at a similar time, and you kind of make your way down to the now familiar eating hall. And as you're looking around, there's the usual assortment of guards and everything you would expect. And then Bloodscale, you hear, "Ah, Bloodscale, my friend!" And you see Renfrey, the Golden Dragonborn, making his way towards you.
Fuck.
I awoke especially early this morning in order to continue under your tutelage as a Dragonborn. And he kind of he goes to bow, and then he doesn't know what to do, so he just waits half a second, then he commits to it and does a full kneeling bow and stands up.
Who has the bottle?
I have a bottle if you wish, and kind of like
no.
starts searching.
I literally turn away from him and just look at the party. Who has the bottle?
I think Vicer has it.
I don't think so. Oh wait, no, I do. Hold on. I grab it, the bottle and hand it off to. Let's get.
Perfect. You get the.
Can I just
the
borrow that
description
for a
bottle.
little bit?
Absolutely. Let me know if you need me to write anything for you.
This one I can do. I'll send that first note.
Perfect. And do you write it in common
Already? Nope.
or draconic?
Mm-hmm.
You see, Renfrey's kind of sitting next to you. He's right. He's like, "Is that our language? Is that what draconic looks like? Could you teach me that as well?"
Dude, I can barely write it. Calm down.
Oh, no, of course, of course. And kind of like,
Just trust me.
"Do you want me to grab you food while you do that?"
Yeah, that'd be great.
Excellent. And he kind of like goes over to the food line, and he comes back with 2 large plates full of like a little bit of everything.
Well, while he's still off doing that, I kind of look at Blesco. So, are you teaching him, or is he just your bitch?
Little column A, little column B.
Okay. Should
I'm
we
gonna
fuck
send
with
him
him?
to the school.
Oh, so we shouldn't fuck with him.
No, we're gonna make this Alcaeus' problem because I don't know how to do this.
Fair.
Plus,
I don't know
you
who
know,
that is, but
it's another adventure for the school. It's fine.
yeah,
Should someone explain the school?
I know what the school is.
Not to you.
Oh,
And then
to the audience.
at that point,
To the audience.
Renfrey comes back and he sits back down. He's like,
That's what the
"Ah,
YouTube videos are
here we are." And he sets down both big plates. And at first you think one's for him, and then he slides both of them in front of you. And he's, "I'll be right back with your coffee." And he just runs back away.
Get me some
All right.
coffee too.
You've got it.
Yeah, coffee all around.
And so he comes back, and luckily his hands have grown since he was a dwarf, because now he's able to hold 6 coffee cups by their handles, and he kind of like sets them down and spreads them out. There we are, and I'll go get, and he just runs away before he can finish his sentence, and he comes back with a
2 creams, no sugar.
he brings back a bowl of sugar cubes and a kind of like a small pitcher of milk, and he sets them down. There you are, and
By now, I've already popped the note in the bottle.
perfect, and then just and it's gone, and it's not long, and you know, so as you're kind of digging into your breakfast, Renfrey's just kind of sitting there. He's like, "So do we need the food to, you know?" And he gets this like this tiny little fire out of his mouth. Is
No,
it?
you can spit that out like once a day.
Oh, very well, excellent. Once a day then. And
Hey, what color are my eyes right now?
let's see. Well, you went to sleep with Silver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have the silver eyes right now, and he's like, silver eyes.
I'm just gonna puff ice in his face.
Oh, and he kind of like, "Oh, interesting. And how do you learn how to do the ice aspect of it?"
By being born this color.
So the colors do coordinate with. Interesting. Okay, and he's like, at that point, he's pulled out this notebook and he started to like scribble in stuff, and he's writing in Dwarvish still, and you can tell the book is something he already had because it's way too small for his now giant hands, and he has like a small like a pen that would be like a little golf size for most people, and he's trying to like write with it, and it looks really sloppy, but you can tell he's excited.
Well, he's doing it, man. I'm not here to correct him on how he does things normally.
Perfect. All right.
Just sitting there eating and watching the bottle.
What does the coffee taste?
The coffee taste, it's a rich kind of earthy coffee. It's got a kind of like a darker roast to it than you'd normally be accustomed to, but it's a really nice, really rich flavor. Just like
This
also a
coffee
little soothing.
is disgusting, guys. I'm gonna go talk to the kitchen about this. I will be right back.
I'm sorry.
And then I'm gonna
It's
go.
not your fault. He's bitching about the coffee in general.
Oh,
I'm
excellent.
gonna go do my thing.
Stop letting these people push you around, for fuck's sake.
Sorry, I just
I just
I
asked
know they're
him
my
to grab
friends
me
and
some
everything.
coffee since he was getting some coffee.
It's-
Oh, no, I'm
trying to
not
bash him
talking about. Vice, calm down. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm speaking in general. Stop letting people like.
sorry.
over
It's been so long since I've been a student that I'm not sure exactly.
Well, you're gonna become a real student in a few days. Just chill out.
Excellent. Yes.
Right now, just kind of hang out, get used to moving.
Oh, very well. Oh, I wanted to try something. And you see he's brought some raw bacon, and he kind of like holds it up. He's
No
like,
fire breath at the table.
very well. And he puts it back
We'll go
down.
much farther than you think it will.
Oh, yes, I guess control would be wise before attempting cookery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Perfect. And then, Zephyr, before you're getting ready to head downstairs, who you want to have your conversation with?
Mesnos.
Business, okay. And we'll go ahead and cut to that.
Alright. So, as I finish kind of brushing the sleep out of my eyes and kind of looking around the room. So, yeah, I realized last night I was a little out of sorts. I wanted to apologize for that.
Oh, to me? No, that is... You never have to apologize. I understand
I am
and...
not a child
No,
that
it is...
you are a word over anymore.
Oh, I do not perceive you as such. You are... I owe you more than I can pay. So, I can understand when these situations get this way, and I'm still learning softer emotions, so... I didn't even notice, if I'm honest.
I'm still trying to get over to bring Ro back.
Well, the...
Menelephus took much from me, but losing Ronat was like losing a mother.
And like he kind of looks down when you say Ronat's name, and he takes a second. Well,
It was like losing a second parent all over again.
I was not familiar with the ties of parent to child until your father had tried to teach me. And I cannot imagine what it would be to lose somebody that important. The closest thing I would know would be to lose you. So, if I promise, how about we promise each other now? If we are past and hear the call from one another, we will return.
You promise?
He puts out his little hand to shake yours.
I take his hand slowly, but then I pull him in for a hug.
And like at first he's surprised, and then he
I grip him by the back of the neck and I hold him there for a minute.
And then he eventually leans into it and hugs you back, and he kind of pats you on the back.
Regardless of how this ends and when Menelephus dies, I hope that you would still remain a traveling companion afterwards.
I have no interest in any other life. And he kind of smiles up at you.
I kind of pull away and brush myself off. I'm like, well, anyway, I've apologized to you. Now I need to apologize to the rest of the group. I'm pretty sure I mortified Bloodscale with that golden dragon.
Yes, I believe there will be very few things we can do to prevent him from finding Bloodscale. Shall we? And he kind of opens the door. And as you head down, you hear Renfrey, the Golden Dragonborn, speaking to Bloodscale's like, it's so long since I've been an apprentice or learned at all that it's hard not to associate those actions with becoming this way, I suppose.
He's already driving him crazy. I bet you 5 gold coins.
Look, man. I'm here to show you the basics. But when I get a note in this bottle, we might be sending you off to an actual school where you can actually learn from somebody who knows what the fuck he's doing.
That would be fantastic. A school I think I'd fit right in at. And then as you're coming down the stairs, Mesnos whispers to you as ever. He's like, I do not have 5 gold I wish to part with that easily.
I snicker and I sit down and I steal some of Uza's bacon.
Then Uza is you see his place, and you see everybody else here, so you know which one to steal from easily. And
I try to sleight of hand it though.
oh, he's not there. He actually is. He's in the. You see his spot is empty.
Well, then I just steal it.
Yeah, perfect. You grab some bacon off his plate, and then Uza, did you want to do that off camera, or you just
Yes,
gonna go?
please.
Perfect. Okay, so And then eventually, after sitting down, Mesnos goes and gets himself just a black coffee, and he kind of sits back down, and he goes, just black coffee and then 4 strips of bacon as he sits and just kind of like chewing his way through it. And that's when, Uza, you return.
Hey, what the fuck happened to my bacon?
I literally
no
just take bacon off of my plate because I'm sure it's piled high, and I just dump it on his.
Oh, hey, look at that bacon. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, there was plenty of bacon, yeah. And so... Do you guys
Thanks,
go...
Bloodscale. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, Zephyr. How's it? How'd you sleep? How did you sleep? Sleep okay?
Perfectly fine. I'm great.
How you feeling?
Like balls.
Yeah, you look like 7 tons of garbage.
Oh.
I wanted to apologize to you guys. I got a little rough last night.
I don't think you were rough. I think you were trashed. It was freaking hilarious. No need to apologize.
Look, you had to cast fly on her.
I don't handle people not coming back very well.
That's fair.
Someone not come back.
Tough would be your claws digging through the ground and into your friend's stomach. You're fine.
What?
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 I misheard that. What?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Got
What,
look around the
ladies?
table. Guys, did we just get a Bloodscale lore dump?
No, this
sure.
literally happened.
Oh yeah, that's right. With
Oh,
the demon guy.
I literally didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, then I'm gonna say it out of character, so you can't react in character.
Perfect.
That's alright, I'll say it in character because I think I know what he said.
What do you think he
Remember,
said? So you have to do that first.
Remember Zephyr? I think he's talking about that time when he was like, "Ah, I'm so crazy mad at this pile of demon goo," and he's like gonna kill the guy, and you were like, "No, don't!" And you like jumped in front of it, and he's like, "Ah, too bad!" And it was like, and you were like, "Ah, besides."
Well,
Let's go.
yeah.
Just Uza nods.
Yeah, poor Vaughn.
I think that's like drunk on power and rage. That's different kind of drunk, for sure. Much less fun. You're absolutely right there.
Yeah, but I mean, Zephyr didn't hurt anybody. I mean,
Oh, no, not at all. That's what I'm saying, too.
so it could have been rough.
What were you asking, Uza?
Oh, forgot.
No.
Oh, I was asking what happened to my bacon, but there seems to be more bacon that has replaced it, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, that was
no,
me.
I did ask. Had someone not come back?
Yeah, one of the clan's members. He was young, too young to not want to come back. It just reminded me of
Maybe-
someone I knew.
Maybe he ended
She
up
left
in like
before.
heaven. Like maybe that'd be great. Like if you're in a good afterlife, I could see not wanting to come back and mess it up. Maybe it's a happy ending. We don't know.
I don't like people being stolen before their time. It brings back bad memories, is all. I didn't handle it well, and like I said, I apologize.
Well,
Next time, you just want to punch me in the face for a few times.
I would love to spar next time that happens, okay?
Yeah,
That
sure.
would be much better. I'll do my orc transformation, we'll bloody each other up, that would be much safer.
Yeah, it would actually.
Because me floating through stairs and seeing the things that I saw at last, oh my god, I was
We
tripping
could
balls.
sell tickets for it at the pit and make some money.
That would be much more lucrative. Yes, please.
I like where this is going.
Yes, I like where this is going too. We'll do
can I
that.
join in too?
Alright.
I
Well,
got this new knife.
We'll go
Extreme
with
emotions.
one-on-one for the time being.
also,
We're talking fisticuffs, buddy.
I can do
only,
one-on-one. Come on.
No,
Hey,
I don't think
hey,
we're talking
hey.
weapons either, bud.
only, like silverware at the table for crying out loud. Put your knife away. Having
It's
breakfast.
literally the same size as I whip
I
it
don't
around.
care. It's about intent and purpose.
Bloodscale, can I stab you real quick? Just not it.
You see,
Just a
we're
little bit.
trying to get through
little bit.
breakfast without anyone getting
Hold on,
stabbed.
hold on, hold on, on! Everybody just pull out for 2 seconds.
It's weird how
Just
often
pull
that's a
out for
problem.
2
I didn't say pull out.
Wow.
Yeah, your plan is got it.
Deadpool bonus for being deaf. I love
man.
being deaf.
Yay, hearing damage.
Oh my god.
So wait, you wanna try to stab me?
Oh, I mean, if you don't want me to stab you, I won't stab. Ooh, what about your Dragonborn friend?
No.
Look, no stabbing new people, especially.
I do not wish to be stabbed.
You want
won't
to
stab you.
calm down.
I already brought him back up.
At that point, Tuza enters the room. Hi guys.
Tuza!
Hi, Uza. And he goes to go grab bacon and everything, and he sits back down with the exact same plate that Uza had made, and he starts munching down on it. He's like, "Oh, I want to go talk to the cooks about something. I mean,
Already did it.
He kind of looks at you and he tilts his head. He kind of like leans in, whispers to you.
While he's
Yep.
distracted, I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
steal some of his bacon sleight of hand style.
Roll that sleight of hand check.
Can I do a perception check against
Not with a 5. You don't have to.
Okay.
And as
Reaching
you're
for the plate, your
Is that
hand
she's stealing your
smashes into
bacon?
it.
as you're reaching for the plate, both Uza and Tuza, both hands grab your hand, and then Tuza kind of like he starts to open your fingers, and then Uza, you pull out the bacon and put it back on his plate, and then they both just kind of look at you like they're just disappointed in you, and then
We don't even break eye contact with Zephyr. We give each other a high five.
high five, and then
Yeah.
Tuza picks up a piece of bacon and starts chewing on it.
Uza,
I mean, I'm trying to learn.
I will assume the dodge action and tell Uza he can attempt to stab me.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So you have dodge action. Go ahead and roll an attack with your dagger.
Not expecting him to say yes.
Dodge action should be at disadvantage though.
Yeah, disadvantage. Gotcha. Advantage. Where's my knife? Oh, there we go.
Does a 16 hit?
It meets.
Meets. So yeah, that hits. And so as you go to stab in, where do you want to stab him?
Just like a cut along the forearm. I'm mostly looking to absorb his shadow.
And
You
so
get just the tip.
as you kind of reach out really quickly, he pulls his hand back, and you miss the forearm. But as he pulls back, his hand comes up slightly, and you cut the back of his hand. And all of you see as it cuts across the shadow from behind Bloodscale pulls over his form and into the dagger. And he looks very strange with absolutely no shading on him. Every bit of him is lit up right now, and he seems shinier and almost glowing because of it.
Guys, I know prestidigitation.
Nice. You can keep yourself clean from now on.
Well, I mean, I can't do it to myself. Rash told me that. But look what I could do, and then I'm gonna go in a corner and try to hide.
Perfect.
Well, that's an advantage, correct?
Yes, yeah. Let me see.
I'm gonna stare at
Hold
him.
Okay, so
Shadowy.
you guys
Also staring very hard.
watch him.
Oh yeah.
I'm not caring.
And
Nice.
you
Nice.
watch him, and he disappears, even in just that light shadow,
Whoa!
completely.
All right.
Tuza
Wait,
runs
did
over.
he teleport or disappear?
Tuza runs over, and he starts to poke at the darkness. And
I'm
eventually,
over here now.
he turns around, and he kind of like he runs over to where you were yelling, and
I step out of the shadows, guys. I really like this knife.
you
Thank
see.
you, Bloodscale, and then I'm gonna do healing hands on him to
Perfect.
heal that stuff back.
Perfect. And then stepping out and deactivating it, the shadow return. You see the shadow leap from the dagger and back onto Bloodscale's form. And then you walk up and you touch him on the back of his hand, and completely healed.
So,
Good. Now I don't have to return the favor.
Hey man, I'm gonna look after you. I
Hey,
can
no
fix
problem.
things now.
Just saying. There was gonna be a punch in coming, but now there doesn't have to be a punch in coming. So
That's fair. I am dodgy though.
So today,
I hit.
Roll an unarmed attack.
I'm punching. I'm punching.
No punchies in the house.
Oh,
I didn't.
You rolling an attack since I was feigning dodging? Does that count as a dodge action?
no.
The dog's action.
so today, do you guys want to come to the ceremony or?
Oh, which ceremony? What's happening?
mean, if
Well,
you want us there.
None
No.
of you guys have
I
come
have.
to any of the resurrection yet.
I have. As Nini's husband, I was there.
Well, you guys were there for his Nini's husband, but I mean, you
I
guys
didn't
want to
know
go
that
see?
it was a thing. Yeah, sure. I can come in. Check
They
it out.
made it a rather big ceremony now, so maybe seeing the Dawnforged company as a whole would be good for the community.
Ah, couldn't hurt. That's for sure.
Switch my tabard to white.
I gotta wait for this bottle.
Oh, okay. Black and white.
Bring it with you.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ah,
Ah! Filling at the
Putting the note out and reading it very quick.
Perfect.
Fuck, I'm rolling good tonight, guys. We
Something
need
on the back.
things.
What's that? Oh, you send the note back. Perfect. And that was the perfect. And then shortly after, there's another one.
Other one.
Didn't you send both?
Yeah, he sent both.
Oh no, the other one came from the you hear just this dink in your metal sending box.
I will open that one in a little bit.
All right, so with that, you guys are fed and you start heading towards the center of town, where the Golden Rebirth is going to be taking place. And you see you've gotten there much earlier this time, as the day's just starting. There's not quite as big of a crowd, and you see only Hamada is there for now, and she's just kind of wandering around, double checking all of the various herbs and coins. And you see she is laying out each coin individually around it in a ritualistic manner, and then pouring trails of oil around it in between them, and then you see she takes small seeds every once in a while and just drops them. And you see the seeds grow just like the tiniest little bit of, they're like these clovers that kind of grow up and into the seeds. They're very, very small, and they're actually golden color. And so they're easy to miss. But you see this time around, since you get that early, you see her start prepping each of the resurrection spaces. And then eventually she does notice you as you get almost on top of her, and she looks up. Yes, I was wondering when you'd get here. How has your night been, my dear?
Bit rougher, but I'm doing just fine for now.
Well, that's what
Do
I
you
like
have
to
any more
hear.
of those potions?
Well, I have been preparing more, and now you're certain on this, are you?
Yeah, I'm down to 2 though, so I'm gonna more.
All right. Well, I'll have them delivered to you at the castle. Thank you for doing this. I don't know if it's something my old bones could handle on their own. She kinda
I
gives a
start
big smile.
in the background. I start playing my
Thank
finger.
you for your discretion.
things.
And I say that under my breath, so that only she can hear me.
Perfect. And what kind of tune do you want to play on your rings?
Something that sounds like religious, sort of like going for like a.
And
Something
I
like
use
that?
thaumaturgy to amplify it.
Perfect.
I can. Yeah. All right.
Perfect. And
So
then
that it's everywhere.
and as you go to thaumaturgy, you realize that it's already filled the entire space. Something with the magic and the rings and their amplifications fills whatever space Viser seems to be in when he goes to make it. So when you go to amplify it, it suddenly is way too loud, and then you just kind of let it fade back down into its natural space. At that point, you see the older dwarf that you'd seen from before kind of made his way out. You remember his name is Termagret, and he's got still his glass-eyed. The rest of you haven't seen him yet. He has kind of like a robe but almost everything's overgrown with various different forms of like cave lichen and mushrooms and things like that. And he's so old and kind of almost balding on the top with white hair and a big white beard. He's one of his eyes is clouded over just through pure cataracts, and just kind of he's smiling and he seems pretty happy, and he's walking up. He's like, "All work to be done today, then." I like work.
Absolutely. This is my group, the Dawnforged company.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. You don't seem to be in need of resurrection.
Nope. I actually got a little bit too much of it myself, huh? And I point over at Tuza.
Tuza laughs. It's because I'm him.
Yeah, it's because he's me.
Well, I'm me, so as long as everybody's themselves, that's all right then.
See, now that's a sticky question, isn't it? Never mind.
No, I'm me, you're you, he's him, they're they.
Got it.
Okay.
Advisor, come play with us.
It's both of them say that simultaneously. And then he goes in, he starts sitting next, and you see he's making his own preparations, but it seems like he seems to like scratch something behind his neck, and then he starts touching certain gold pieces in a similar pattern. And you see just mushrooms, these small white mushrooms keep growing in everywhere he touches. And he's like, should amplify it, hopefully, since we're working with a little bit more time since the inevitable.
I'm sorry, question. Is this one of the Myconid?
No,
Or is it
he
just
is.
a dwarf that's growing mushrooms out of
It
his
is
neck?
a dwarf who's growing mushrooms and stuff out of him.
Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure if I was truly as lost as I thought I was.
Yes, you are.
That's
Alright,
not the
then.
weirdest thing I've seen here, so...
You're welcome. And then so eventually he sits down, and you swear you see his clothes like cling and build almost like a spore-like mound clutching him to the stone as he's sitting waiting. And
I noticed you've got quite the, you know,
Yes?
like all of these growths and everything.
Hmm.
What's all this about? How'd that come to be?
Oh, these nature. They are wonderful. They are unspoken companions. Silent companions are my favorite type. We don't question, and they help me see all of the web of life, even in the darkest places. He kind of like stares off for a second and looks back at you. Wonderful, is it not?
That seems
Beautiful.
quite useful. Yeah.
He pulls one off of his robe, and he kind of reaches it out to you. Would you like a friend and companion?
I've got lots of friends, thank you.
Very
I'll
well.
take one!
Like one.
Excellent. Friends. And he kind of hands both Uza and Zephyr. Go ahead and write, let me get the spelling of it for you. Termogret, Turmogret, mushroom.
T-O-U-R Termogret.
That's it.
Mushroom.
One more time for me,
Put it
Tyler.
out.
Slower, like a dummy.
Oh, yes. Termogret. Turmogret.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, go and add that to your inventory. And then he kind of sits down and he starts to just stare off again. And then out of nowhere, he just kind of chuckles.
Guys, be careful with those mushrooms. I don't trust this guy. He seems.
Do you have
Oh,
any idea how many mushrooms I put in my mouth?
And at that point,
No, but
um,
like,
in
Is
the,
that a dick
remember
joke?
yesterday?
Guys, is that a dick joke?
at that point, you guys hear.
Oh my god! What is that?
Oh!
And
Learning!
when
I
you
almost want to zap him with a lightning spell, but I'm not
Dude,
going
that's
to.
that's totally a fucking dick joke, right? Yeah. It's
oh yeah, it's a dick joke. That's a good dick
it's a
joke.
dick joke.
I was gonna say it, then I decided not to, but you did.
Yeah. You're the smarter one of the two of us.
And as you
Frostbite. Just.
And then you see at that point there's kind of a procession headed from the temple district. You see it's headed by Khirn Brightmantle once more, the priestess that you met previously at the castle and who helped revive the king with all of you. You know she is a follower of Bernard Truesilver, the matron of dwarves, and behind her you do see the paladin, and you see at the very end, actually, can I get a perception check from everybody?
Perception.
You want to Do you want one from me? Because I kind of walked away.
Yeah, you're close enough that you'd still see this after you're reading your note, because they did lots of nonsense in between you.
I'm feeling so good today.
Scratching out the reply on the back, so it
Yeah.
might be.
Okay, yeah, we'll skip you then.
Yay!
Alright, so,
I rolled 20.
Jesus, you guys are rolling amazing today.
Yay!
I am perceptive as always.
The old wisdom. And then, so Zephyr and Uza, you look in the and you see at the back, you see Claddock, and you see he's surrounded by a bunch of people. There are there's lots of dwarves, some humans, some gnomes in there. And you do see you do recognize the large granite family kind of walking alongside them. That's with the Norulda, who's now a dark elf, and her mom, who is a wood elf, and then their small, still a gnome dad in between them. It looks really kind of strange because they're both so much taller than them that he's holding their hands, but it's like he's the kid, but you know differently. And then you see that at the very back of the procession, there's a whole group that all seem to be followed around Claddock as he's just making his smiling, shambling way down.
Give him a big old
As
happy-
this happens, I start prepping my resurrection area
Perfect. Now, what would
with
you?
both my demonic and natural druidic magics.
Perfect. So, with yours, you see that what they're doing, and you get a spark of inspiration, and you just reach up to one of your horns, and you press your finger hard enough just to draw just a little tiny bit of blood, and you start placing the blood droplets in the same place as you see them doing. And then at the end of it, you lay your hands kind of on the circle, and each one of the droplets is a small, and as the fire ignites, small light blue flowers, the same as the staff that reminded you of your old your second mother, pop up from each of those, and they're just these tiny light blue flowers that were the same color as her eyes. And you kind of get the feeling that somehow she might be there with you.
Sylvanas, guide the light.
And as you say this, Khirn walks up, and once again, similar to the first time, she stops the procession, and she throws her hammer into the air, and it flies, and then it, top of everything, creates two large intersecting circles, kind of like that. And there's this small silver trail, and then as it falls back into her hand, she catches it, puts it back on her belt, and that flashes with a silver. And then she nods, and they bring out the bodies of 6 dwarves. And so in front of you, they lay...
You could type their names so that I can type
I
them
will,
down
yeah.
too.
Don't worry, I will as they are revealed. And so one is laid down in front of you, and this one is it looks like a guard, but all of the armor has been stripped away except for the helmet. It seems to be almost the only undestroyed part. You see, there's many arrow wounds and stab wounds on her body, and then in front of. Eager, are you? In front of Helmata.
I'm just prepping it so
No
that
worries.
it's up there for me.
That's good. That's good. And then in front of Helmata, they drop another. This is an older female dwarf who, it's not readily apparent how or why she died. And then lastly, they lay a male dwarf in front of Termagret, and he's this male dwarf is the throat has just been slashed from one end to the other, and that seems to be the only wound on his body. And so go ahead and you start your rituals, drawing the incantation of the Sylvanic in the air, the Druidic language, combining it also with the ending phrases, kind of adding there's like these meaning markers at the end in Infernal, which kind of shape the meaning of words in front of them to basically add even a more positive spin to what you're trying to do. And then go ahead and roll your D100 as the spell. The letters flash in green, and then it, like a lit fuse, orange flies through them as they disperse into magic around. So 20.
Lucky.
The body in front of you seems to, all the wounds start to close. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we've got to save the king, then. Too much to do. Why am I naked? Oh,
That is a good question.
You died.
that's not.
Back.
This is, was my duty. And I suppose.
And it was my duty to bring you back.
She's
Well,
What is your name?
I am Kekrath Ruby Miner. I'm very confused. But, thank you. And she bows to you. And she stands up and she's looking around and like, need armor, please? Excuse me. And she kind of like, yeah, she is. She kind of moves around. She sounds like she's been eating cigarettes instead of smoking them.
Okay.
And
Immediately understood what you're going for there. Okay. I gotcha.
I caught that.
Dr.
reference.
Mrs. the Monarch.
and with that, she kind of just like pushes past you like nothing happened and starts to like go over to talk to people. Some guards who are posted near who are just kind of like still in awe. Like, no, we'll get you set up, yeah, but like, okay. And then she's like, very well. And she kind of like wanders over to where you know the barracks is, pretending. You get the idea that denial's a hell of a drug.
I ain't die. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna.
Alright, and then, let's see what happens with the other two. 81. Okay, and so the form next to, in front of Hamada, starts to shrink just a little bit. And the features kind of smooth out, and the light stubble of the beard just kind of retreats into her face and kind of sits up. Where's my house? Where's the fire? Who are you? And, don't worry, dear. You've been resurrected, and you are now a gnome, so get used to it, and the people over there will help you. What? What? You don't... You have no help. Well, I'll find somebody who will help me. And she kind of like bustles over past her. Dwarves are weird, man. And then, lastly, Tomagret, he kind of leans down in front of his. He leans a little closer than the rest of you do, and he's almost like face to face as he casts the spell. And once again, you see this dwarvish form kind of shrink a little bit, and the hair goes from like almost a dark brown, almost black, into a kind of like a blonde. And but it still seems to shrink as you see the dwarf become a rock gnome. And that one sits up and he's like, he immediately grabs at his throat where the wound was, and he's like, he looks around, he's like, "You're back. Welcome. Somebody murdered you, but they didn't get away with it." Well, they did, unless you know who it is. There was a riot? Yes, it's over now, and you're being resurrected. Who killed you so we can bring them to justice? I believe it. I didn't. I think it was Frosnerum. And then there's like kind of like a mutter throughout the crowd as he says this name, and
Fucking Frosnerum.
and then you see some guards kind of nod, and like a section of them kind of break up, and he kind of stands up. And as he stands up, he's like, "Why am I so short now?
Can I real quick see if I can see the guy in the crowd?
Sure,
that you said killed him?
make a perception check. Anybody who wants to see if there's a reaction."
Somebody who's like running.
Oh, damn.
Perfect. And so as you guys are looking around, you just see that section of gnomes break off. It doesn't seem like the murderer came to this.
Yeah, I don't see why they would.
Okay, can I do one more thing?
Yeah.
Can I look around to see my favorite type of enemy?
You're...
Racists.
No, yeah, no. Looking around, make another perception check. Looking around, you see that there's with the new mixed collection of people who are they're now like the resurrections, or you're starting to notice like there's more people out here and there's different types of people, but it seems like most everybody here is just in kind of like a quiet fascination with what's happening, and there doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be really anybody there's more shock than anything going across people's faces. You don't see anything that seems hateful or anything like that.
Good.
And then your next resurrection, go ahead and roll your spell as they bring the next body and lay it down in front of you.
Alright. So I smack my hands together and I get going with the muttering and canery.
66. Okay, so it's a it's a halfling Lightfoot. Okay, and so this this is a female dwarf, and she has silver hair. But as you cast the spell, she does have a younger face for having silver hair, and as you do, almost from the roots, this kind of more coppery red kind of sprouts and runs through her hair until it takes up everything. And judging by her clothes, she was definitely of like a poorer citizen. And as when she sits up as a gnome, she kind of looks around, and then you see she looks towards Claddock. As she's looking around, you see her eyes locked to Claddock's, and you see he smiles and he gives her like these thumbs up, and she's like, he said he'd do it, and he did it. Thank you, Claddock. Oh, and she kind of looks like, thank you. You're Zephyr, right? We were told about you by him, and she points over at Uza.
Yeah, that's...
Lena Wallen smelt pike. And she kind of like reaches out her hand to shake yours.
I shake her hand.
And she, is there anything I can do to help?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, well,
Thank you, though.
I'm very hungry. So if you, but I would like to thank you more in the future. Where could you be found if for an invitation maybe later?
The castle.
The castle. Thank you, Zephyr. And she kind of like bows and scuffles over to Claddock, and Claddock gives her a big hug. And
is that the one that we were using as a messenger?
No. This is an older. That one was a much younger girl with red hair. Who's now a halfling. Perfect. And then
Sure, I wasn't responsible for more deaths.
62. One second. And you see after right. Okay, yeah. So 62. And then you see a very similar story play out next to you, where this other dwarf who had kind of like more blonde hair, it just shrinks down in size a little bit, and features become a little more fair from the dwarf form, and she sits up. I have so many questions, and then she spots Khirn. I'll ask Khirn, because I think I was dead, and now I think I'm not anymore, and I just need to find someone I trust. Kind of like sits up and makes her way over to Khirn Brightmantle. And then Termagret, he again reaches like super close, almost face to face with his. And this is another dwarven male. He looks singed, burnt from foot to head. Almost his beard and his hair have been completely burnt off. And as he's sitting over him, he's like, And he reaches out and he just touches the nose, and then you see, instead of anything else happening, you see a mushroom grow from his nose, and then mushrooms start to overtake the body, and he looks up. Not coming back. He shrugs. And then they bring you one more, Zephyr, and then and the Khirn comes up. She's like, I do apologize. Did you still have the
I do.
do you want to try to
Yep.
go
So
and roll a
I use
d20? Seven. Okay, and as you feel the energy flow into your hand, and you feel the magical restoration, but then it shatters in your hand.
Okay, do I get 2 spells back or just 1?
Just the one. And they bring you one more female dwarf who is laid before you. She is, like you can tell, she's been cleaned up since she's been found. There's been oils and stuff through her hair, but there's still just a mass of bruises. And go ahead and roll your resurrection spell.
Okay. Oh.
6. Okay. And as you see her,
Oh, I almost had a tiefling friend.
you see her limbs start to extend and everything, and you see her body take on a more human shape. And then as she opens her eyes, you see her eyes are yellow like a tiefling's, and you see as her eyes open, this reddish tint flows over her face and down her body and completely over her skin, and 2 small horns start to grow and curl back. And she sits up. I don't believe that I know exactly what happened.
You died.
I indeed did die, and now I have returned, and...
Now you're like me.
Oh, well, you're beautiful, so that should be okay then.
Oh damn! Oh dip! Oh dip! Oh dip! Time to give some! Dip you some!
I flush from like face to toe, just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh dip!
Your
Look out!
your coloration makes it hard to notice, but then you do see that she does seem to notice, and she smiles. And then she, well, I do thank you for what you've done, and I think it's time for a new adventure. Kind of like smiles to herself, and then looks up at you. Drinks though sometime. And kind of smiles again.
Yeah, sure. What was?
And then she looks around and realizes she's in the middle of a square with all these people, and you see her blush even through the red. So, where can I, if I was to, messages to be sent to?
The castle.
The castle, yes. And then she stands up and she's like, oh Lord, and she kind of like covers up. She looks down and she covers up, and then she uncovers and looks and kind of like small nod, and then recovers up again and remembering where she is. And so, I'll hopefully see you later. And she kind of like wanders over to the side, and you see she also goes over to Claddock's clan, and they you see they're all digging through this big bag and handing her larger clothes, and then she starts to like put them over, including like this big kind of like poncho
Like I
thing.
didn't catch your name.
My name is Yuktriana. Giant Maker.
Don't worry, Zephyr. I wrote it down for you.
Perfect. And then
Do you know tieflings could blush?
I do now. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
Look, did you see
It's
her?
a twofer.
Did you see her blush? It was like whoa.
Redder.
And then the other one got so red, and like, dude, when somebody blushes and she did a full body brush twice.
Totes inappropriate.
So
Totes
inappropriate. So inappropriate.
So great. I love it. This is a great day.
This is a fantastic day. And then with that the
What else can I use thaumaturgy for? Can I like flick them in the back of the head or something?
no, well at this point you can walk up and
Harmless
just
tremors on the ground. I'm gonna use the harmless tremors like right underneath their
and
feet.
so,
Just
Uze, you and Tuza both simultaneously look up as the ground starts to shake from you, and you just have this
just
death
kind of
glare.
glaring at them.
We're gonna give 4 shaking thumbs up.
And then with that Khirn, once again she's like, so ends the Golden Rebirth on its third day. We invite you all back tomorrow to once again meet with those who are lost. We are one,
Bastard.
we are new, we are reborn, and we are more than dwarf. We are Khirn. And then you hear Murder's around, we are Khirn. And then she kind of like bows her head, and then the procession starts back to the temple. You see there's a bunch of guards standing around the gold that's being used for this, and but they don't seem to be collecting it up. And then they do end up collecting up the body that has now mushrooms growing out of it, and they kind of like pull the sheet over it, and then take him to the.
Wait, the body has mushrooms growing out of it now?
Yeah, there's one guy who didn't come back. When he touched the nose for the resurrection, instead of the resurrection spell, a small mushroom grew, and then the body just started to grow mushrooms as he.
I think I'm gonna go conduct a cast ceremony on that body.
Perfect.
Once
Mhm.
the crowd has kind of.
So
I
like
go
to-
stand beside Uza.
I stand beside him
while he does
too,
this.
but I also do an Arcana check on the body.
perfect. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check, and go ahead and cast your ritual, and let me know what you'd
I'm
like to do.
trying to. It's not in roll 20 standby. I'm gonna have to
Okay,
copy.
And then, so for your Arcana check, the mushrooms seem natural. There doesn't seem to be any lingering magic even from the spell that you know was cast on the body.
Really, not even the spell. Should there be?
You would expect, and you had getting, like, for the ones that were resurrected, you do almost feel the magic with the magic being in your blood. But this one, you don't even feel a trace of magic. It's almost like it never happened.
I lean over. I lean over to Uza and Zephyr and go, so, I know this is strange. I just wanted to see if the body had any magic left in it. Or if there was anything that caused these mushrooms to happen the way they did, because it just seemed a little strange to me. And I'm not getting anything.
I
Spells
believe
that
it's
fit.
part of his ritual. When
Well,
you
he brought someone else back,
Reincarnation.
right?
When you perform reincarnation as a spell, it's very personal, and you customize it to make it your own. You see, all three of us did it differently.
Alright.
You put pieces of yourself into it.
What?
I
How
f-
much of
I
yourself
felt-
are you giving away here?
Let's put it this way. I felt like that last woman that I resurrected, like, she should have come back as something else, but it was close enough to Tiefling, and because of my... I don't know, because of my flair, because of who I am, it kind of pulled her in that direction.
Alright. Interesting.
So when he performed that and it failed, it took part of himself with it. So he, grew mushrooms. That's
Right.
my understanding of it. I mean, it's basic, but that's how I'm taking it.
Well, alright. And, like, that's true, right? Ty?
That's just my understanding.
Uh,
It's my belief.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Haha!
sorry,
That's my belief.
it's a kind of like your character will have to go on with what he's told, because he's, you've done the Arcana check. It's not something that you don't have a familiarity with this spell, so it wouldn't be something that you would know is true or not true. You do know nature-based magic is very strange and kind of whimsical at points, and does
Okay.
seem to have
Nature
more to
check.
do with the actual caster sometimes.
Or I could do a medicine check.
You could do that too. Yeah. So what?
Whatever.
We got 13. Yeah, seems naturally dead, and the spores seem natural. It just seems to be a side effect of the attempt.
Yeah, it seems to be a side effect of his.
I'm gonna go ask Cladic.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
How do you want to perform your ritual?
Well, that was the thing. I need 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver.
Okay.
I need to go see if maybe Cladic has some.
It's coming to me and I can crush some silver.
Or as you head over to Cladic, he's talking with the the now tall to him tiefling and the resurrected halfling girl, and he's kind of smiling and carrying on this conversation. As you walk up, he turns. Uza, one of the saviors of our city. What can I help you with, my boy?
That's me. So question. I was gonna do a thing,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize I needed things for the thing. Do you know where I can get 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver?
The mines? That's not generally a thing people keep around. There are shops that do sell ore and powdered bits of metal. You could check with one of them. It should be quite easy to find.
Okay, I'm gonna go do that really quick. What?
Oh, I was just going to say if you needed any gold, we still have some of the bit you provided us. And he kind of smiles.
Oh, well, that's for you guys. This is my thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna to blood scale.
Yeah.
You're strong. Can you make silver powdered? Can you powder silver?
Maybe, I don't know. One powder silver.
I don't know. With your with your claws?
I have an idea.
Could you freeze it?
I have an idea. Get over here.
I get over there.
Scorpion, or do you throw out?
Come here. Okay, so you head over.
But I mean,
tedious.
we gotta find a nice, like, solid slab of stone or metal.
Okay. I mean, we're in a dwarf city that's like everything around us.
Pretty much, yeah, the cobblestone.
But you need to look for it. I'm not.
I'm gonna point at the ground. I think I found some.
And there is a
Before you guys
large
get too
slab
far
right next
off
to there.
this quest area, I was wondering if anyone else is curious about the Zilla Rakim. Checking out more.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally right here. What are you talking about?
I just meant before we get too far into it. That's all. I just wanted to see if anyone else was interested in going up there.
We gotta take the monk guy up there. I'm gonna dig through the giant pile of gold that is right here and see if I can find.
You go to touch it, and one of the guards.
250.
You see, as you go to touch it, one of the guards steps in your way, and he kind of. Sorry, there's a. Pre set aside for the rituals only.
Oh. I mean, I was gonna do a ritual for.
There's only enough for the
one that-
rituals they have planned. You can speak to the treasurer if you wish to find more funds from the city, but these are already spoken for.
Ow. Just over here trying to give a funeral
What
rite.
do you need?
Somebody did once. I need 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver. I don't have any silver on me. It's only
Okay,
gold
anybody got change for 25 gold? Preferably all silver.
I have 70 silver pieces here. I don't think like that doesn't quite cover it, does it?
Just need an exchange.
I would need 12 more, 20, 18 more. Math is not my strong suit.
Same.
So wait, which one is gold and which one's silver, platinum versus? They're like 5 different.
Which
Silver
one's
is the one.
triangle?
Silver, the
I
one's
have 90. I have 90 silver pieces.
Oh
perfect.
well, there you go.
So 90
So,
plus
let's
70,
see.
that's 160. You have 90 more to go.
Yeah. Just need. Anybody got 90 more silver?
That's why I'm asking for change.
And you.
Go to the. Is there a vendor nearby?
I
Uh,
have 58 silver pieces.
Perfect.
Perfect. That's all we need, right?
I
How
need
many do you need?
You need
two more silver.
Oh,
2 more
sure.
silver pieces. Fuck! I gave
yeah,
Claddock
give
so
him
much
2 more
silver.
silver pieces.
No,
I
no,
need
you need 2
on
more
top of
after
your
your
58.
I believe I
Oh,
have.
Well, I've got 3, so there's the 2. Okay.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh,
Ding!
Sorry, everybody,
So,
write off your
fine,
silver.
change
Zero
together.
silver.
Fuck! I did not realize this was that expensive of a spell.
It's not expensive. It's just we all carry gold, not silver.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you want to try here?
So the one that didn't come back, I want to.
You still got to powder it.
Yeah, how do you want to?
Shit, we gotta pound. Okay, hold on. Ooh, what about the metal sleeve? What if we just hit the silver really fucking hard against the ground with a metal sleeve?
Yeah. What if we freeze
I've
it?
got a
first,
better
right?
idea.
Like we could freeze it and then grind it, maybe. Like
Guys, I literally just need it in a pile on the ground that won't move.
that ain't. I
Pile it
dumped
in the
mine in a
ground.
pile.
But I need the pile not to move.
I like put my finger up and like point at anyone around to be like, that ain't back up.
No, I
think he
pull
means
out the
magically.
giant psychic maul.
Okay.
Jesus.
I need the pile not to move.
I hit the pile with Ray of Frost.
Okay, and you see the coins all freeze together and freeze to the stone tile.
I guess good enough. Ready for shrapnel, I guess.
I'm gonna guidance
Oh,
him.
hang on.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Can I use
Of
Mage
8
Hand,
seconds.
like to hold the
8.
coins in place?
9. Wrong way. 6. 5.
Yeah, I don't have a spell for that.
You know what? It's a
Three.
10 pence. So you see this as you get ready to pull down your hand. You see this this hand just kind of cover the pile, and it's made of magic.
Tell me what I'm rolling.
Roll an attack at advantage and add.
I don't think a D4 does any. I don't think guidance does attacks.
No, guidance
No,
is
it's
for
just skill
checks.
checks.
Yeah,
I'm
Okay.
proficient.
yeah, you would be proficient with this because you're. It'd be technically you're using it as an improvised. No, you're proficient with hammers. What am I talking about? Yeah, just roll an attack with it.
Can I
The
guide?
maul's technically a great
Sarah?
weapon. So
Sure.
I mean,
Got to do a check.
Sure.
Guide by Sarah. I poke him real quick, right in the cheek. Poke.
What?
Guidance.
You
Just
get
give you
poked.
Guidance.
You get poked in the cheek right as the hammer's about to come down, and you feel this kind of warmth and almost tingling numbness where he touched you, and you're like, somehow I feel more confident, even though I was just poked
Is
in
that
the
at
face.
advantage, right?
Yep.
4.
And as you bring the hammer down, just
4.
and then can I get a charisma check or charisma saving throw from you, Visair? And add
Doesn't do
4 to
saving
it.
throws either. Doesn't do saving throws.
Oh, that's
it's
true,
just
yeah.
ability checks. God damn.
I guess we'll do a general charisma check, and then you can add and then
Save, so 15.
You had a D4, not 4.
yeah, add a D4, roll it.
You had to roll a 4.
Copy that.
14. Okay.
14.
So, Bloodscale, you only you're trying to put so much force into this that you miss the pile and you hit kind of next to it, and then but as you hit it down, some of the coins start to break and some start to scatter around, but they seem to get stuck in the mage hand that's holding them down, and the mage hand pushes it back down into the pile. So you've broken some of them. They're not powder, but they're like kind of broken in half.
So you know what's gonna happen?
Uh-oh.
He's gonna rage.
All right, roll at advantage
I'm
and
gonna hit
add
it with
your
another-
rage craziness.
I'm gonna pop another ray of frost. Just
And you freeze them
really freeze them down.
even more
Staring
solidly.
at this wide-eyed, I poke Visair again in the face. Cast guidance.
You don't have to do that. It's okay.
Let's have a bit more on this
Please.
anyway. I didn't have my strength modifier
helping.
last time.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. Okay.
That 27's way better.
Yeah, and so you bring down this maul. All of a sudden, you just the first time, before you guys can even recover, you just hear, and you see the barbarian has just raged through, and his eyes kind of just almost frost over as he brings down the hammer, and it shatters everything. I need a charisma check with your guidance.
Hurry, charisma check. Charisma check.
Good old D&D being dumb as shit sometimes.
22 plus.
Should be a check, not a saving throw, but we'll add it. Fine. All right, that's good enough. You rolled well. Yeah, you rolled well enough. So, and as the pile starts to explode outwards, the mage hand seems to almost grow and cover over the complete top of the pile as you pull back the hammer, and you just see this fine silver powder.
Start to.
These
I have feathers.
mage-
I'm gonna dust it up into a thing.
It's already.
Wing.
Isn't it already in my mage hand? Isn't that part of the thing?
Yes, you can use the mage hand to pick it up if you like.
All right, so I'm gonna pick it up, and do you have a?
Yeah, I have
What do you
an
want
empty-
this?
I
Do
have
you
an
have a?
empty vial, kind of
Alright, then I.
a larger one, a greater healing potion's worth.
Perfect. That should fit it.
And I drop. I siphon it in.
Perfect. Then you see the mage hand has it, and then it kind of turns and kind of funnels it into it, and then dissipates as the last of the silver powder falls in.
Sweet. Thank
Alright.
you. I'm going to be much more prepared for this.
And then, how do you want to perform your ritual?
I want to. It was a dwarf that didn't come back, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Going to. Are there any candles around?
There just is the light coming from the clock tower and the Zealer
Okay.
Akeem.
Okay. I have a candle,
Perfect.
so I'll pull that out and light it with my tinder box.
Perfect.
And then I'll begin to sprinkle the powdered silver over in like a circle around the body, and ask for Tuz's help with this. And
Tuza helps you, so it takes half as long.
perfect. We begin to pray over the body, and we call to Akadi, respecting that this individual has taken their choice not to return to this world that was too cruel for them, that choosing to instead stay where they are currently is a freedom that all should have. And that, and again, this is, we're not saying this out loud because
Mhm.
it might trigger Zephyr, that all beings should be given the freedom to make such a choice, and that Akadi guide their spirit in the tumultuous regions of the beyond.
Perfect. And as you you complete your kind of prayer, you look up, and at the same exact time that you see Tuza's eyes light back up, and then as you both look at each other, almost a spark jumps between you, and you just see this tiny spark of energy fly and then go straight down into the body, and you know your ritual has completed and taken effect.
It's a good day.
It is a good day.
Good day. Okay, thank you guys. We're all done.
We're good here. Thank you for
Yep.
all the silver.
Yep.
Oh, do I have any silver? And he kind of like pats his. No, I don't have any money. Never mind.
Did you not swing by the room that
Huh?
I told you about?
Oh, there's no silver.
What?
What? Sorry.
Just knock it off.
Sorry. Not the time.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
And then with that, you see the place is kind of cleared out almost completely, except for just a few lingering people. It's just them and the guards with you now. And then the guards, after they see your ritual, they thank you. And then Khirn comes back with a few people, and they gather up the body and take it away.
Oh, I almost forgot. Wait, and I'm gonna run back and I place a single arrow on the chest body.
Khirn kind
case he
of
needs it.
nods. Never know. And she kind of, then they take it back to the temple. All right, with that, the ritual is concluded. What would you guys like to do next?
I just kind of look over at Uzo. I'm like, you're a good man, Uzo.
Thank you.
Bird.
I mean,
I'm a bird.
he is.
Yeah, but- I mean, we both are.
Yeah,
Both
we
of
are.
you.
Thanks, Zephyr.
Yeah.
Remember, and I whisper to her, if you run into problems, just tell us. We're super subtle about a lot of things.
And then you see this big.
Is your key feature. I know.
You see one of the lights go out on Tuza and comes back on as he winks at you.
So that is the coolest wink ever. I'm so jealous.
I actually did have a favor to ask.
Got it. What do you need?
Yeah, we're on it.
And
You hurt
I
somebody?
kind
Yeah,
of
drop my
pull
knife.
them away from the group and
Yeah,
So-
bye guys.
Bye. Secret time.
So,
Super secret time.
well, and I do look around and
So-
I see if anybody else is listening in.
You find a
A
secluded
perception
enough
check to help.
place. Oh, you can make a perception check, and usually kind of like go into like a little alley right next to it.
Perception. I noticed nothing.
You guys don't see anything out of the ordinary. It just seems like a nice, secure alleyway.
So I say, so I know you're really good at drawing. I mean, I saw your drawing of a girlfriend, and it's really well done. And I was wondering if you could do a couple drawings for me.
What do you need?
Easy.
I wanted a drawing of the Dawnforged company. Kind of like a family portrait. I know, it sounds stupid.
That sounds
No, that
fucking
sounds-
cool.
We're gonna be so good at this. Who do you want to draw? I want to draw blood scale.
Well,
I
I
wanted to
want
draw myself.
everybody. I want everybody in it.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm gonna draw blood scale, and then he can draw Vicer, and then I'll draw you, and then he can draw.
Why are you getting all the okay? If
Well,
you're gonna draw blood scale, then I get to draw Zephyr, and
Alright,
we'll
fine.
split Vice hair,
Okay.
and then
Fuck both of
we'll
ya.
share Mesnos.
Okay. Yes.
And one more thing. Like, I wanted one more. I was hoping you could just draw one of Mesnos.
Well, yeah, he's
Separate.
he's
I mean,
part
he's
of
gonna
the.
be part of it.
Yeah, like I want one big family portrait, but I just want one tiny one of Mesnos.
Like a bullet size.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'll draw the big one, you draw the little one, or do I draw the little one and you draw the big one?
But I don't want you to tell anybody, okay?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. No.
We got colors.
Ooh.
I don't want anybody to think I'm super sentimental or anything.
Yeah, who would want to think that you appreciate our company,
Yeah. I mean, feelings are for suckers,
right?
right?
What a loser!
Jeez, who would want to have
To
feelings?
commemorate her family here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know.
Because it could be taken away from me.
Psh, we just conquered a kingdom. We took down a
Oh.
king.
King.
We're here to stay, bitch.
Yeah,
You're
bitch.
stuck with us.
Have
Both
you
of
ever
us.
gone against a devil?
I mean, not yet, but we're gonna do that together too.
Start with the king. It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
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 We went from frogs to trees to we fought some demons.
Demons
And then a king, and then we're gonna find some more demons.
and those big scary electric things. The here,
yeah,
Yeah.
here, yeah.
here, but there,
No
but
thing.
dead.
It ain't no thing, but and then I move my
And he points to it as well.
Or maybe you're right.
we're
Just,
here for you, Zephyr.
Always.
you guys mean a lot to me, and I just I don't have any photos of my old family, and to change that.
You know what we can do after me and Tuzo are done with the family portrait and the little the wallet portrait for Mesnos? Maybe we can. Oh my God!
What?
I just had the great. Okay, so if I lent you my hat, could you cast disguise self on yourself to make you look like the people that you used to be with, and then I can draw them for you? Then boom!
Yeah, we could draw everybody so that way they're not lost. You didn't lose them. You got them with you.
You got them right with you at all times. Boom! There you go.
Bam.
Problem
Done.
solved.
I can't.
Oh. Okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, good family. We get whatever you need.
I mean-
don't remember what my dad looks like.
Oh,
Okay. Maybe Uza could do it. Uza knew him, right?
You
Did I
mean
know?
Mesnos?
Sorry, Mesnos.
I
Still getting
mean,
getting used to this brain. Ding, ding, ding.
I think he had a short circuit. That spark earlier. Maybe we can give it to Mesnos, and he can do disguise self.
Yeah. If it's something you want.
I could do that with Ronat and my druid tribe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that would be really nice, Uza. Like,
Of course.
Guys.
Anything you want. I mean, I'm drawing a picture. You're bringing people back from the afterlife. It's chump change.
I figured, since we had time, we have 8 more days of this, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to be staying here. Are we staying here?
I don't know.
At least 8 more days.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I got to work with Gimzik on a couple of things.
Yeah.
And then we got the staff
Yeah.
to work on. But that's also a secret. Don't tell Zephyr.
Don't tell me what.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Staff?
Nothing. We're gonna go now, and he Tuza kind of pulls you away.
We gotta go find Color
Hey.
Egg.
Yep.
But
Bye.
okay.
And they
And I
just
kind of fly off and I go join the group again.
perfect. And so the rest of you, Zephyr rejoins you as you're pulled by Tuza, and he starts to run, and then you kind of take to flight, and you two make your way towards the blacksmith quarter, I'm assuming, or
What we
Gimzek.
need. What time is it right now?
It is getting to be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd say.
Okay.
Oh shit!
So I'll
Or no, closer to noon. I forgot how early you guys woke up. Yeah, so closer to noon.
Yeah, we were 5.
Yeah.
I'll swing by the tinkerer's shop and see if I can find some colored ink along the way as well.
Perfect. And as you are wandering through the city, you do see there is a calligraphy shop. It's kind of like got calligraphy and then like a bunch of fancy papers and everything. You kind of stop in for a second, and you purchase. What colors of ink would you like?
I definitely want some scales of white.
Scales of white. Okay.
And then I can't really tell from Zephyr's character photo. Is she light skinned or is she purple?
So she has, in my bio, I have tan to olive skin tone with red undertones.
Okay. So I will try to get a combination of inks to match that.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get an orange and reddish one for Vicer.
Well, don't forget the pink. Lots of pink.
Lots of pink. So much fucking pink. It's like he's the worst at hiding.
But he's the best at fashion. Ah.
It's true. I'm black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white.
Oh, he goes to tap his, and he's like, oh.
Oh. We'll talk to Gimzik.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what else? Some dark blues and blacks for Mesnos.
Perfect.
Um,
And then just brown for you.
Yeah, some browns and some light blues for the scarf for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so it.
And some more orange and red for the Taz and the snake.
Perfect.
And some grays and blacks for Shenoth.
Perfect. And so you all around, it's a little more expensive than you were expecting. It's about 55 gold for all of them,
Jesus.
because they are super rare and some of the colors are super hard to make. But you end up getting your complete collection, and just go ahead and write ink set, and then add any of and just put parentheses colors, whichever ones that you have, into your inventory, and mark up your 55 gold.
Marked off, and then I don't know if this will change the price though. I want to get a parchment paper that's like hotel lobby painting size.
Perfect. So with your expensive purchase of all of those inks, they do end up throwing in a it's about let's say it's like a 4x4, like 4 foot by 4 foot square parchment that they throw in for free with your purchase.
That'll be perfect. Thank you. All right. Okay. Start adding that, and then that is going to take me a minute.
Perfect. Okay, so as you're adding that, is there anything else anybody would like to be doing while he's adding that? Let's check our downtime list. Wig scoop 2. Zephyr, as you're headed back, you do when you get to your room, you find 3 more of those potions with just a small tag that says, "Be careful, thank you," and then it just says, "Love Helmata."
I burn the note in my hand and just kind of like let the ash crinkle to the floor and is
You take 1 point of fire damage.
really? Like if I use...
If you're igniting something in your hand and closing your fist around it, I mean, you only took half damage because you're fire resistant, but yeah, just a single point of fire damage.
Okay. Alright, whatever.
Then it leaves just kind of like this blackened spot on your palm.
Okay. And I use let's see. Is Mesnos in the room?
Yes, yeah, Mesnos is there with you.
Okay, so I looked at him and I'm like, so Mesnos, I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Of course.
I wanted to make something for he's doing me a favor. And
Yes.
so I want to get this done before I sleep again tonight. I need you to help me shave off part of my horn.
I suppose I could help with that. Are you absolutely sure?
Blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh.
Very
I need
well.
pieces of me.
Very
So
well. And
yeah, here.
He,
And I lean my head towards him, and I'm like, take off horn,
very well.
just a sliver.
That is what you truly wish. He pulls out his nearly unused dagger, and he kind of looks at it for a second, and then he kind of flames over the blade with his demonic, and it glows just a little bit, and he's like, take a deep breath. And then in one quick motion, he shaves off about that big of a section of horn. By it's like a kind of like a large sliver of horn.
Alright.
And you start to bleed just a little bit out of it, taking 5 points of damage.
Whew.
That
wasn't too bad.
It wasn't. Lean in one more time. I'm so sorry. And then he lightly drags the blade across, and you just hear this. Now it is sealed. And the way he does it, it doesn't
I'm like
cause any
tapping
damage.
my fingers on the...
Actually, the way he does it, you
Yes.
don't feel it really. It's
Just
very strange.
antsy.
Oh, just okay. And then
Just like antsy.
so now you have your bit of horn.
Okay, and I reach back and I grab one of my primary feathers.
Nice, a pin feather.
I
Okay.
yank
And,
that out.
Your pin feathers are about, let's see, 2.5 feet long,
So I grab one of those and I yank it.
and it hurts. But you managed to only take a single point of damage from pulling out your own feather. As you know, you just make it a quick twist and pull, and you manage to get the whole thing, even the head of the feather. It's got a little bit of your blood on it, but you can just wipe that off.
Alright, and then while I was like walking back, I did grab some dirt
Mm-hmm.
before I walked in, so I unfold that from my pack and I set it on the ground, and I take the feather and the horn and I prop that standing up, and then I take the blade and I cut my hand over it, and I cast plant growth.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay.
Action
And
to start growing a tiny little bonsai.
perfect. Okay. And so as you cut your hand and you start the ritual, you see kind of similar to the growth of the plants in the ritual before. As your blood hits the soil, there's almost like a flash of that orange flame, and then it kind of seeps into it, and then you see where the horn is planted with the feather next to it, this small root lump start to grow around it and encase those two items. So now they're sticking at the top of like a small bonsai tree stump.
Okay, and I'm just gonna keep channeling my energy into that every time I wake up.
Perfect. Okay. So for now, it seems like you've gotten probably the most out of this particular plant growth as you can because you focused it so hard in one area. And then anything else before you sleep potion out?
No.
Okay.
Did they?
So just
What's that?
huh?
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I just thought she was done with.
Okay. No. All right. So
I'm just going to kind of look over at Mesnos and say thanks for the help. I'm gonna be working on that. And, oh, I
Yes.
forgot to tell you. I pull out my pack and I like shake out like all my potion ingredients and stuff. I'm like, Helmata trained you too. I want to start working some more
Oh.
Dead Man's Revenge and Falling Madness.
Very well. We will need more ingredients than this. We used all of the reagents that we'd acquired for the ones that we had. I will inquire about it. Is there a particular meal you would like available when you awake?
Whiskey?
Always. And he smiles and pats his, where you know his flask is.
So, whatever you feel.
Very well. Sleep well, I will watch over you. And he kind of like sits down and kind of like this meditative cross-legged thing at the end of the and kind of rests his head on the door for a second.
So, you'll go get the ingredients while I'm out?
Yes.
Alright. And how many potions did how many potions did I get from Helmata? 3?
Yes, yeah, you have you got 3, so now you have a total of 5.
5. Alright, so I'm drinking 1.
Perfect. Roll a d20.
D20.
Perfect. Okay, good to know. And then with that, we'll cut over to I believe Uza, you had something.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if the kitchen was doing their fucking thing.
As you stop by the kitchen, you see that there's and you inquire. It's everything is exactly as you've ordered it and ready to go.
Okay, I'm just gonna, supposed to get food on the way back too. Just saying.
Sorry, we didn't. No one informed us that she was here. We'll have
it's
something set up
fine.
immediately. And then you
I
see,
mean,
kind of like turns around
It's
to
probably
the
too late now, but just on standby.
Hey, sorry, you thought it
thank
was
you.
when she awoke, but yeah, of
No,
course.
it's fine. We just
Yeah, you've got it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Just going through a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
God, my
I got
friends are magic.
a lot of work to do.
All right.
friends
You'll excuse me.
Sure.
Is there any bacon, by the way?
There's a bit left over from breakfast.
Thank
It's a
you,
little
guys.
cold
That's
now,
nice.
but
No, it's fine.
All right.
I'm a turd. Thank you. I really appreciate the work you guys are doing.
of course, that's least we could do.
Oh yeah, thanks, guys. And by the way, if you could have food sent to my room as well, I'm probably not going to be at so much fucking work for the two of us. Tuza, I know you like to eat, but do you have to eat?
I mean, I
Fuck
don't know
Bring
yet.
food for him too. Why risk it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Bye, guys. Good night. Good
Yeah.
day. It's noon. It's lunchtime. We're not going to bed. We're going to go work.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye. And then as you leave, you just hear like whispered mutters from the staff. And then we're Vicer and Bloodscale. Is there anything you guys? Actually, Bloodscale. Do you want to do? Where is it? Oh, actually, most of your stuff you've just kind of had done off screen. Was there anything that you'd like to do? Like you'd like to add some RP to?
Well, I'm gonna grab two of the guards.
Mhm.
Let's gonna wander around town and see if we see any racists.
Okay, perfect.
Oh my god!
Go and make a perception check.
It's just performing a hit squad.
I'm not gonna kill anybody. Rough a boy up or two, you know.
Sure. Yeah, no. Go ahead and roll your perception checks. 12. Okay. So the first hour goes smoothly. You don't really see much of anybody. You see a bunch of people like rebuilding buildings that have burned down. You know, the area by the dock is just being completely rebuilt. There's a lot of fire damage there. You do see certain shops like the windows have been shattered, so they've been taped up and tarped over. It's mainly you see people rebuilding, and you do see people you vaguely recognize around that you think you've seen around Claddock now having jobs putting them stuff back together. You recognize their carpentry is amazing. Like your eye for your woodwork. You get a kind of like a new respect for the dwarvish architecture that isn't made of stone. And then
We're gonna spend a little extra time at the docks trying to see if I can find a damn cleric somewhere.
perfect perception check. You do see there is still a ship that is now, well, it's the charred remains of a ship that is still frozen to the dock, but no other signs of Unawatale.
Alright, just more rolling around.
Perfect. And then one more perception check as you keep rolling through the city.
Oof.
And you just by the end of it, you're just kind of getting you're really thinking you were going to see Nawatale, and you're kind of annoyed, and then you see like one of the guards like pulls like a little he pulls out of his backpack. It's just like this little pony cake, and he's like, "I do want to stop for lunch. It's been a while since we ate."
Yeah, sure.
I mean, then you sit down and he pours everybody some beers from the pony keg, and it's a little stronger than you were expecting. You don't get like drunk, but you're just feeling kind of good as you sit and eat lunch with them, and then you kind of head back to the castle. You don't really find anything in your wanderings.
He's pretty much just gonna do that shit for the rest of the time here.
Perfect. Okay, Visair, is there anything you'd like to do?
Everyone's off doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna go buy some clothes.
Perfect. Okay, and so you make your way down to the market district, and after like a quick looking around, you do find a shop that has that looks like they have clothes, and as you go inside, you do see there's a dwarf behind the counter, and he's got this kind of bigger smile, and he's just like, welcome to the shop of well, me now, I guess. We specialize in clothes, but yours are quite fancy, and maybe we can help. What are you looking for?
Alright, so hello, me, is it? Is that what you said? Your name was me?
Oh, no, sorry. The name is, and he kind of like, he seems really nervous for some reason. Almem Ingo Trever.
Alman. Alright, Alman. Yeah, look, I just, I kind of collect clothes. I kind of build up my wardrobe. Got to get it nice and
it
flashy
looks
for...
great, if I can say so myself.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was just wondering, what are some of Khirn's current, most fashionable clothes like?
Well, since the throw of the king and no more kings or dukes anymore, the color purple has made it back into the popularity with the people. Harder color to get a hold of. We've got various people commissioning smaller crowns. I think that's going to be a passing fad, though. Was there anything particular you're looking for?
Alright, let's see, I do enjoy a good mask, if you've got any of those.
I do have some commissions that were never picked up. Oh, give me 1 second, see if you're interested in this. And you see he kind of like turns around, he scuffles, and he turns back. Here we go. And he brings out this wooden case, and he opens it. And inside are 3 pairs of sunglasses that are with dark purple...
Sunglasses?
Yeah, well, they look like reading glasses, but to you, you'd think of like these kind of reading glasses, but they've been dyed purple, like, and they've been infused with... basically melted. The glass was melted, they added ingredients to make it a darker glass. And he's like, yeah, for some reason the doer guy, they ordered them, but they paid for them, but they never came and got them. So Yeah, you're interested. Cheap.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, sure. I'll take a pair. Why not?
Perfect.
They look interesting, if nothing else.
Ten-
I'll take the gold pair.
Perfect, and you take the gold rim pair, and the gold rim pair they start kind of like purpley to the top, but fade to a pink at the bottom, and 10 gold. It's a steal.
Oh, the cheap ones. Alright. Do you haggle?
I don't
I
like
don't
to.
understand. Sorry, Deadpool.
Yeah.
D&D, I never know how to get a good deal. I don't understand the mechanics of how to get a good deal.
Yeah, usually you can try haggling, and then I'll decide the DC based on your argument, and then we do a check if you're interested in haggling.
Right.
Yeah.
10 gold.
Steal.
Could do you 7.
7. You kind of thinking it over. Go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage.
Persuasion. Wow.
And as you see, he's kind of mulling over. He's like, yeah, no one else is gonna buy these. They're under the mountain. Do you know anybody? We don't need sunglasses staying here. Well, they're sun blocking glasses. Do you know anyone else who'd want these? Let you have the entire lot for 15.
15. How many are in the lot?
It's a pair, 3 pairs. There's the gold with the purple fading to pink.
I could do you 15.
15, take them. We kind of and so mark 15 off. So you have a gold rim pair of sunglasses. You have a it's a pince-nez style of glasses that are kind of a lighter like amber color, and then you have a just a kind of like a silver steel with super dark purple.
Great.
Perfect. And then
And then I just put them in the interior coat pocket.
easy peasy.
If somebody else does cast daylight, I will be glad to have them.
Very true.
Anyway, so that's cool. I like those. What else you got?
I see you said you're a fan of masks. I do have a few dwarvish style masks, any kind of reach masks, and so what would be kind of normally like an opera mask, but they're made of pure. It's a super shined bronze, and they're in the kind of like a dwarvish styling. So they're kind of more isometric shapes, and then there have been seem to be lacquered in a red, so that the recessed parts where the carvings are have a red lacquer in them.
Alright, that's cool. I like those. How much does one of them go for?
Oh, one of these are prime right now. These are 25 gold.
25 gold for a mask? What are they made out of?
Well, they're made of a polished bronze, and then as you see here, the lacquering takes a lot of skill and work.
Alright, do they have any magical properties?
No.
25 gold.
Aye.
Alright, well. I think I'm alright.
22 gold!
It's okay, don't worry about it. I've got a mask, it's fine.
He kind of puts it away.
Is there anything I should check out while I'm in town? Anything you think's particularly interesting?
Not a lot.
I've only seen depressing things and angry people this whole time. So if you have any of the fun side, I'd love to check that out.
Well, supposedly the Ringmaster's working on a new show. Apparently it's to lift the spirits, and they're going to be performing it where normally we'd have the pit fights. Apparently she's designing it for the theater and the round, and she's very excited about it from everything I've heard. She came in and had me kind of touch her up with some gold, so she's looking quite a bit fancier than she did.
You don't happen to know where she'd be right now, do you?
If I had my guess, back at the Hall of Bards, where the Ringmaster usually is. It's probably where she spends most of her time writing these things down.
Alright, I'll go talk to her. Hey, you have a good day. Thank you for the sunglasses.
Of course, yeah, you too, Visair.
That's me, Visair Guile, Dawnforged Company, don't forget it.
No, of course
Bye.
not.
And then I head out.
You hear an audible sigh of relief as you leave.
What the fuck is that about?
And you get the idea that he was just really nervous and very new at this.
Fair enough.
It wasn't a thank God he's gone. He's just a tension relief kind of sigh. Just a, and then all right. So and then Uza, I believe you headed over to Gimzek, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So as you make your way to Gimzek's, Tuza's right there along with you, and you kind of walk into the Tinkerer's Guild, and he's like, "Oh, hello, Uza and Tuza. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I was just heading out to the Zila Akim to continue my studies. Is there something I can help you with?"
Oh, we just kind of figured you were going to be starting the old business up again, you know?
Oh, yes, definitely. That is one of, well, a very large part of my plans. Are you volunteering to watch the shop for me while I head off under the guarantee of no stealing?
Well, and I kind of give a very longing look at the exact spot where I know the safe is. I'm just kidding.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because this place got broken into. I didn't. Yeah, I did it. But we had to.
I believe you. There was much in here that probably came to our aid, but for the future, please ask before taking.
Well, I mean, I thought you were dead, man. Last I saw, you were kidnapped by what I thought was the bad guys. I almost killed him, and it like Zephyr talked me down. It was this whole thing. And,
no, of course, I didn't. Like I said, I do understand. It's just next in the future.
Yeah. I put both my hands up. No sticky fingers.
Perfect.
Okay.
And
because I do have a favor to ask.
Yes. What can I help with, dear boy?
Well, I mean, we worked for what, 2 or 3 days before you got
yes,
anti-kidnapped, kidnapped to be not kidnapped.
Well, technically kidnapped. It doesn't matter who's doing the taking. If you're not willing, that is a napping of sorts.
You got friend napped. You got friend napped.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So your preemptive kidnapping. I didn't really learn too much. I wanna spend more time learning, and then we gotta build this dude some wings.
Oh
and
yes,
then,
I promised that.
Yeah.
So
make him not so clanky.
Of course, yes. The work with the Zila Akim is of much importance right now. So how about we do this? Tuza, if you would like to, well, you guys can choose who does what, but if one of you would watch this store and the other come with me, I can kind of explain a little bit of what I'm researching with the Zila Akim and see if we can, through helping me absorb a little bit more information while the store stays open, and you will be recompensated for your time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, totally. Tuesday, do you want to watch the shop? I'll help. Or do you want to help Gimzik and I'll watch the shop?
Oh no, I'll watch the shop, and one of his lies goes out and comes back on.
No, you want wings, right, man? I mean,
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it otherwise.
Yeah.
We're good now. We're good right now.
Yeah. I goes off and comes back on.
No.
No.
God, is this? I know what blood scale feels like now. This is horrible. And I'm gonna pull Tuza to the side and be like, "Look, if you steal his shit now, he's not gonna give you wings. But
That's
if
a good
you wait
point.
until you have wings, you can get away more easily."
Oh yeah. Can I have the hat?
Am I gonna get it back?
Of course. You said you'd take it one day and I'd take it the other day, and that yesterday was
true.
your day, so it's my day.
It's true. That's true. Here, I'll let you have it while you run in the store. And then
Perfect.
we just, you know what? Have it until further notice.
Okay.
I want it back before I leave the city, though,
Yeah.
in case
course.
you end up staying. And then we might need to give it to Mesnos and Zephyr for the pictures.
Perfect. Yeah. And then
Okay, here you go.
he takes it.
I
You see,
hand
the
him hat.
instant he puts on the hat, he transforms into you. But the only difference being his scarf is red. Just so we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker didn't even need to attune to it. I like it, though. Okay.
Perfect.
I like it.
With his superior robot brain, he can attune to things much faster than.
Oh. Isn't that weird?
Son of a bitch.
Oh.
That's. How did you not need to attune?
Well, I didn't even think. I just.
Me and Gims are going to talk about this. We're going to figure this out. Then
It's
you're
really
not gonna
weird.
have to attune to wings.
Gimzek is looking at. How did you? How?
Weird, right?
That is very strange. I wonder if magical items can't tell the difference between a soul and another exact copy of the soul.
So
Kinda
do I
looking
need to
back and forth
stay
at me?
attuned to that in order for him to use it?
I would assume that you could only attune to a single soul's worth of items between the two of you. So I'd say for him to use it, you would have to stay attuned.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't even get a slot back and I give up my hand. You owe me, Tuza.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's cool, man. Do your
I-
thing. Have fun.
Yeah, you too, man.
Stealing.
Dude, pay attention. You gotta tell me what he teaches you, because I wanna
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And then you can attune to it in a second. So jealous. It's bullshit. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye. All right.
And then, so you head out with Gimzek, and you guys head to the workshop. It takes you a while to get there. To the Oh my God! Why do I have to create so many stupid names
Oh,
for
can
things?
do I have to insight check my twin to see if he's lying about stealing shit?
You can if you want. Yeah.
I'm gonna insight check him
Perfect.
because I know me.
Yeah, it seems to be telling the
Yeah,
truth.
it's fine. It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
So you guys head up to the home of the
Oh.
Deller Sedek, and you see while you're up there, Uza is kind of Uza.
Gimzik?
So many Z's. How did we end up with so many Z's?
know.
I blame
Gimzek.
you.
I blame me too, because I'm the DM. It's my fault. All right, so but as you're kind of up there, Gimzek is he's explaining to you that there's kind of like a magical lattice that binds, that magic kind of flows through, and most of the time it's invisible to the eye, but certain magic users like sorcerers and wizards are able to feel it and able to pull on those lines of power, and they call them ley lines. And he thinks that the Zealer Akeem are almost a bare spot where a ley line is like almost available. It's just right behind the crystal. But he believes that one of the reasons it keeps the soul echoes is because it's such a powerful line of magic. It might be connected to what he thinks might be the origin of magic, and has something to do with magic being connected to souls, and he hasn't figured it out yet, and he hasn't figured out how to focus it down to find out who he's going to. But he does show you on the large crystal that he is able to glean memories of the day before off of himself, and then he kind of shows you that him and Rash have been working together to try to find and glean memories specifically of people, to see if that helps guide the process.
Jesus. Okay, that's
You got all that right? You wrote that down?
Yeah, I actually did write that down.
No, no, you didn't.
I'm pretty new to the magic thing, but I mean, are you able to pick which memories you look at?
That is the part we are working on currently. It does seem to be a tendency with emotions, tend to skew it about. So I believe that is why we had such a scattering of people who were close to important people, or they were, something they just the closure to them. I don't know exactly how to control it. Is the thing. It does seem a combination of a powerful memory and a powerful emotion attached to it. Rash has actually gotten much better at it than I am, because I think my more analytical mind.
I think he's got a little more vested.
Perfect. And then so you guys kind of go through working out the day, and he basically kind of lies out a little more details of what he thinks it could be, and then you guys start experimenting with the crystal, and you see Rashildalin is able to almost consistently pull up images of his family, but he's not able to focus it down onto a single person. You see glimpses of this lovely looking blonde-haired gnome who she's got these bright rosy cheeks, and then she just have some light freckling that starts on her cheeks and goes down, and then you see these two children that he had. One's a boy and one's a girl. One of them is a gnome, but he has green hair. And you can see like through the memories that he's super rambunctious, always running and jumping off furniture and getting, and then you see the girl is more studious, but also has that kind of green hair, and both of them, their ears are a little bit longer and a little pointier than the usual gnome. And the longer you look and see these memories fly through this crystal, like they do have freckles, but their freckles also have like a kind of a green hue to it.
Is there a way that I could, not super hastily, but detail a caricature? I want to do a caricature of each of his family members real quick, separately.
Perfect. And what are you writing it on?
I have a few bits of parchment left. I was running low, but I should have enough for this.
Perfect.
That's
Okay.
not my super fanny stuff.
Perfect. So do a calligraphy check, or I guess cartography check.
Cartographers.
Perfect. The wife looks beautiful and almost less exaggerated than you were expecting. Almost closer to real life than a caricature.
And then he's two kids, a son and a daughter, the studious
correct.
daughter and the adventurous, and then two more.
Perfect. And the son again looks very close. The daughter, you do have a little more artistic liberty with. Like you think maybe her hair is a little bit longer, and you exaggerated maybe her hands weren't quite that big, but you do get a very good likeness of all of them.
Hey, Rash is there, right?
Yes, yeah, he's working alongside you.
Okay. I want to take the picture, the picture of his wife.
Mhm.
I want to hand it to him. I want to tell him I have an experiment, a thought. And
All right.
Gimzik, help me out here.
Of course, yes.
You said the more powerful the emotion, right?
I believe so, yes.
Rash, I want you to think about two things when you look at this photo.
Alright.
I want you to think about the first day you met,
Okay.
and right after the first big fight you two had, when you made up.
All right.
I want you to think about those moments, and I want you to focus those memories in every little bit that you can.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of nod at Gimzik to, like, just do something?
It's definitely worth a try. Now, we know proximity is a thing, so why don't we step back and then kind of, so you two step back from the large crystal that you've been using to view the Zealer Akeem memories. And Marshildon walks forward and he kind of like, he puts it down in front of him and he's just kind of sitting there for a second and he shakes his head. Shakes his head again. And then as you're looking from the back, you see the crystals start to clear a little bit, like go to an actual clear crystal instead of a color. And then you see, as he's concentrating, his eyes, as you kind of peek around the side, you see his eyes are actually shut, and he's trying to like. And then you see the vision of his wife is like smiling and happy and then you see that they're running across rooftops as she smiles back at him, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. And then
rogues.
And then the crystal kind of starts to go deep blood red as the scene almost fluidly changes where she turns back and then she stops and turns all the way, and as she turns and her hair kind of whips around, the scene behind it, almost like a splash of paint, changes behind her, and they're inside of this, what you recognize as Rashildalin's, or what you assume is Rashildalin's house, and you see she's yelling at the crystal, and then you see Rash's shoulders kind of like start to shake a little bit, and then it instantly the picture cuts to her dead on the floor, throat cut. And then Rashildon puts the paper down and he steps back. He's like, I can't, it's so hard to keep it in my head when you know what's going to happen.
Hey. It happened, but it's not that it can't be undone, right?
No, I know, and that's why we're here. It's hard to live so vividly. I swear it makes it more real than just the memory. And he kind of looks up at you. You see full-blown tears just rolling down his face. And then we'll go ahead and cut to Zephyr. You've woken up, and then you see there is a bit of food prepared for you. Actually, I forgot. Vicer, Bloodscale. Anything else you guys want to do that aren't in the plans?
I was gonna check on the horses.
Horses. Okay, yeah. So we'll cut to Bloodscale. You go and you check on the horses near the gate, and you see the Delacetic that is Bartram Bristlebeard, his forward guard, and you see he's you see him laughing with a group of guards, and they busted out like a small pony keg, and you see that the gates are relatively unguarded as you see kind of like caravans have started to roll in again. You do recognize some of them have markings from Vernder, and as you check on the horses, they're perfectly fine. They've been fed and kept. The wagon has not been messed with, and everything appears to be exactly the way and where you left it. And you kind of head back, and you see.
I was gonna have a quick talk with the
perfect.
horses, just make sure they're doing okay.
Perfect. So
I
you
can
pull
do
out.
that.
You pull out your bear totem, and then after about 10 minutes of sitting, your familiar bear spirit appears next to you. You see him, it's almost like he walks out of the wind, but there's no wind, and he kind of shambles over. And you almost feel him nudge into your shoulder to let you know the ritual is complete. And you rock, even though it didn't actually touch you.
I'm still gonna give him that little tiny fist bump I always get.
He gives it right back.
I'm just gonna make sure the horses are okay, getting fed, they're enjoying what they're getting fed, simple
Perfect.
stuff.
And as you're going through the conversation, he tells you that Ilbin and Nimbus are they're doing very well. To them, it's been a nice break. They've just been kind of hanging out. There's occasionally loud noises, but they go away pretty quickly, and they seem really far away. So they've just been enjoying this nice kind of relaxing break and eating. The food here is really good. They keep bringing them oats and grain with that have been crushed into honey, and it's just really sweet and delicious. And then they go on about how they really love this salt brick, which they've never had before, and they're just licking the crap out of it every 2 seconds.
I will make sure to get some of that for the road.
Perfect. Then as you're on your way out, you talk to Stablehand, and he lets you know that it's relatively cheap. You can get a big old block of it for 2 silver. He tells you it's kind of like a byproduct of the mines. Occasionally they'll hit a random mineral vine that has more salt than anything in it, and then so they'll harvest some of it out, which horses can lick and seem to enjoy.
Nice. That's all I got.
Perfect. And then you head back. Lysair, anything you were looking at?
I was gonna go talk to the guildmaster about the show she's gonna put on.
Perfect. And so you head back to the Hall of the Bards. As you enter in, it's similar to the last time you were here, but the atmosphere is almost completely different. Where before it was this kind of rigorous, sing this note, sing that, and very structured. It's much, much more chaotic, because there's kind of the teachers are kind of everybody seems happier. They're telling people to experiment with things. The dances, you see some dancing that you don't really recognize, and then you hear some more experimental music being played. It's amazing compared to the last time that you were here. There's a lot more music, of course, and as you head in, you're kind of pointed towards the ringmaster, and you make your way over.
Alright, so what's this then? Looks like you're in full production.
Oh, just wait till you see we have a show coming up that'll stop the ages. She gives you a big smile, and you can tell she's furiously writing. Her entire desk is covered with different scribbled on papers, and then she has one this kind of pile that she's kind of tied together and had like this kind of light binding to it. It's just basically 3 leather ropes tied to it, and you see a ton of just crumpled up papers thrown to the side. He's like, oh, it's gonna be excellent. So, Viceroy, I see you've come to return my rings. No.
I thought they were a gift.
No worries. They were for your time while you're working here, but I think you did more work than I could ever ask for.
No, I could pay for them if you like. I don't mind.
Don't worry about it. I'm just giving you a hard time. Now,
Alright.
so
I was just wondering what are you making? Like what's this show gonna be? People are saying it's going to be better than the fights.
well, let's hope I give those fights a run for their money. So, what do you want to know? I don't want to give up way too much.
What are you making?
Well, okay, so, I thought it would be interesting to write the. Well, first I was going to do a ballad of the freeing of the city, but I decided that was going to be too heavy for what our people needed right now. So I've actually been going back and researching a little bit of history of Khirn and a bit of religion as well. And it does seem at one time that the Forge Branch family was actually just like everyone else. And when we first came to this city, apparently there was some sort of entity. It doesn't really get too exact into it, but some sort of shadowy entity that was hiding here, and apparently the Forge Branches actually helped battle them back, but they weren't the general. It turns out there was another figure who was actually died during the siege that said that it should be the Forge Branches, and it turns out that there's more humans and gnomes in the origin of what we consider now a dwarven city than we originally thought. So I figured I'd tell that story, but of course, lighten it up and have nobody die, because I think we've all had enough of that.
Oh, that's interesting. Would you mind pointing me towards some of these books that you read? I'd love to learn more about how Khirn was founded.
Oh yes, of course. Right over this way, and she kind of shows you over to. She's got this wall of books, and as she's going through it, you see there's as you're walking through, you see some songs that you recognize as the approved songs have been just completely destroyed and left where they're like you see bits of them strewn across the floor as you walk through. And then Khirn, where is your freaking thing? Sorry, 1 second.
You're good.
And then she kind of shows you some of the books, and they do tell of a story of where is that stupid thing? History of Khirn. There it is. Sorry. So they tell how originally that when they first came to the mountain, there wasn't the hollowed out giant space that it is. And originally they thought to make a city there because there was a great number of tunnels that led everywhere throughout it and connected to the Underdark. And they figured this would be a good place because it was kind of along trade routes a little bit, but they knew it backed up to the sea, so they could put a port in there. So during that time when people had been digging through and making it, they'd come across these shadowy figures that almost like shadows come alive. And occasionally they thought they would see other, faces of people they knew in these shadows looking at them, but so eventually they were able to dive deeper into it and found that there was a master of these shadows that lived under the mountain and could force the shadows to do things, and eventually people found themselves fighting their own shadows. And but eventually there was a hero who'd kind of stepped forward, and it was a dwarf by the name of, let me pull up his name here, sorry. Not that one. Why do I separate things like this? Doesn't even make sense. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Here we go. Okay, and so it was a dwarf. His name was Doralig, and he doesn't have a last name written. And you see that the description of Doralig is this very large, broad mountain dwarf who he was said to carry the fire of the gods inside of him, and could have been mistaken for the All-Father in certain moments of the reading. And so it seems like he was the one who managed to gather up and even recruited some of the orcs in the nearby forest by bribing them basically with large amounts, with all the gold that they had collected for their mining experiments, went to those orcs to get them to help. And so between them, so there was a band of about 50, about 30 dwarves, 10 humans, 5 gnomes, and 15 orcs. And then he led them against this shadow master under the mountain. And after they'd slayed the this shadow master, they took the body and they set it on fire and set it adrift at sea, and kind of blessed the port then and there. Right then it was just like a hollowed out cave, and they blessed the port so that the shadow figure could never return. And upon apparently the completing of the ritual of blessing, that's when the Zealer Akeem and the roof started to glow with and they noticed it, and they started to hollow out around the Zealer Akeem, and that's where the origin of Khirn.
Do you mind if I borrow this
No.
book? Or I could even buy it off you if that'd be alright.
I mean,
Just want
yeah,
to make sure to show the other Dawnforged company the rest of it.
Sure, I'm sure I can get a copy of that. Yeah, just she kind of looks down and she, all right, I'll trade you. What happened to me?
I'm sorry?
What happened to me?
I'm talking to the copy, right?
That's correct.
Well, I'm not entirely sure myself, to be honest, but basically, you were pulled into a black, like a little tiny, don't know exactly. It's like a small black ball that like crushed you into a tiny little bit.
Oh, well. And I heard there was, apparently everyone I've asked was running away. There was some sort of hulking figures that are suddenly growing out of dwarves. Is that a thing?
Deadpool.
Yes.
What?
Oh, the Star
I don't
Swarm.
remember which-
So you remember the Star Swarm hulks, the big giant
Right,
things that were
okay.
writhing all around. She
Right,
got just annihilated by one of those. Did a
I thought she
aerial-
got pulled into a black hole by
Nope,
the...
she got pulled into one of them.
Into... Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
pulled
they,
it
they
in-
had a special move that was like a little black hole.
No, they did an area of attack which pulls people towards them and does psychic damage, and basically they pulled her into its writhing wormy body, and she was disintegrated pretty much, and just kind of like a blood mist popped out because she was instantly crushed and destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Blood mist.
Yeah. So there was these great like worm-like golems. They were huge, and one of them managed to cast some bizarre spell that pulled you into it, and it crushed you into a fine. I wasn't sure exactly what happened. It wasn't like we could see your body or anything, but it was kind of just blood mist.
And as you're speaking, she's writing all of it down back at her desk and saying, "Thank you. I just need to know how to finish up my own ballad, you know, because I'm going to put me to bed while I start a new me."
That's very healthy. It's very forward thinking of you. It's only been a day. You know, if you need time, make sure to give yourself a little
All of this is
space.
based in denial. And she smiles. She smiles just a little too broadly as she says
Now
that.
that I understand 100%. Well, I hope that once you get past the denial phase, that life starts getting easier. Good job talking about it. That'll help.
Never hurts.
If you need anything, let me know. I'll be around for the next couple days, it looks like, till we get the golden... calling this the golden resurrection, the golden ceremony. Anyway, till we get
The
more
golden
people
rebirth.
who are dead alive.
Of course, yeah.
The golden rebirth. So we'll be
Now-
around as long as that is. So you know.
She
you
kind
need
of looks.
anything-
She kind of looks around. No, you don't think it would work on me, did you?
I don't know. It seems that the copies are different from the not copies. I don't know how to put it exactly, but the physical. It seems like you need the physical form for the golden rebirth to really work.
All right
I
then.
don't really know what happened to your physical form.
Okay, well in
I
that
don't
case,
know if you can get it.
if you know any wizards who know true polymorph, send them my way.
Well, absolutely. I'll keep an eye out.
Excellent. So other than that, lots of work to be done, as you see, as she kind of gestures around. And anything else I could help with?
No, that's it. I was just curious if you needed any performers for your play and what you're doing.
Ooh.
This book is very interesting. I'm gonna show it the rest of the company. Should be
Very
good.
nice. All right, well, I'll keep you in mind, though. I might have a part for you. And she kind of she
Whoa,
starts
honey.
tapping the desk. Don't get too excited, but maybe.
I wouldn't.
It's not cast
Right,
until
well-
we do auditions, but I'll let you know. And she smiles. And again,
Honey,
just a little
well-
bit too widely. And
You have a good time. Yeah.
she nods and dives right
See
back
you
into her
later.
work. And as you make your way out, and then all right, it's about 9:15. So I was thinking we'd go till it's the way I'm trying to figure out. I think if we start anything else, it's gonna go much later because we have resurrection stuff to go over. Does anybody have anything quick that they maybe wanted to fit in or do real quickly?
Can I just share the book with the rest of the Dawnforged company at some point?
Sure.
We'll just say that. Like, is there a way to actually duplicate a book easily, or duplicate an item easily?
Um,
I've got a pretty cool thing that should duplicate that book.
Cool. So we'll just go have Uza duplicate it real quick, and then
Perfect.
give everyone a copy so they can read it.
perfect. Okay. And so are you
don't know
talking
if
about
we'd
your
give-
scroll?
Yeah, I wouldn't give
Okay.
everyone a copy. It would just give us a copy to keep.
Oh, I have a copy to keep. This is
Yeah.
my copy. I just got
Oh.
it. I traded it for a story.
Bitch, this is my book. Fuck you.
It would-
This is my
it would
book.
give us-
You can have your copy. Yeah, if you want.
It would
yeah,
give us
we can do
one
that.
more copy, but it wouldn't be a book. It would be like photocopies onto a very long scroll.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we'll pencil that in. And then was there anything that anybody anything else anybody can think of that would be quick?
Just real quick for me.
Yeah.
The only thing, since I have a fucking pile, like an ever increasing pile of things to do,
Yeah.
I am going to be focusing 8 hours a day with Gimzik
Perfect.
for the tinkering.
Perfect.
And then just real quick, for the next time Rash tries for his son, I'm going to have him focus on the birth of his son and the first major injury that his son had.
Perfect.
And then
Go ahead
daughter Herbert.
and write those down
I'm going to
because
just type that in.
yeah, go ahead
Okay.
and type those down. So for now, we're going to cut to Zephyr. As you wake up, you again feel brutal, and you feel very, very, very sore. But you look over and you see that the pile of dirt has a full bonsai bush has grown while you were sleeping. It is about yay big, and has started and has already has like a lot of leaves, and it has grown around the horn, but the horn still sticks out the top of it, and the feather is also coming out of the top and kind of leaning over a little bit to the side. And then
Okay.
you when you wake up, you do smell fresh food. You see Mesnos kind of stand up. He stretches, and then he goes over and he there's like a little writing desk kind of in your room, and he picks up a tray and brings it to you. Food.
Not that hungry.
Oh well, it's pretty good. I had a little bit earlier. It's just some soup, and but it's a good soup. It's vegetable medley. They told me. I don't know how vegetables make medleys, but apparently this is it. And he smiles.
Okay. No, I will partake of medleys. All right. So I have a few bites, and then I reach for the flask. Like,
And
give
then
me.
he hands it over, and you get your
Or the
awakening
dog.
nib. And as you taste it, it's the good stuff. he's again gone and refilled, so that way he had it ready for you, and he takes it back and pockets it again.
What time is it? Like 8?
It is
9?
And he kind of thinks for a thing. It is 8:20.
Okay. All right. I gotta go cast some more of the resurrection spells, but for now, I want to kind of see if I can get these branches looking a bit more braided and neat.
Excellent.
So I cast plant growth again
Perfect.
to kind of get the roots and the branches to kind of braid over themselves and the leaves to twist just right, so it looks a bit more artistic and
Perfect.
like I sculpted the bonsai
And as you
for
cast
time.
as you cast this spell, you feel kind of like almost a synchronization between you and the plant, similar that you felt when you were in that super old forest, and you do feel like this connection to it. And as you're kind of like almost just requesting, and it's just kind of moving at your requests. No demands, no forcing, just simple requests, and they seem to start to roll together and braid together just exactly the way you'd imagined when you were thinking of it.
And then I kind of like tidy up the bottom part, and I tie it up with like I look through my pack. I'm like, Mesnos, do you have like a ribbon or
Yes, he
hemp
pulls out
rope or something?
he pulls out
nice?
some hemp rope, and he has 20 feet of it, and he kind of hands it over, and then hands you his dagger to cut the right amount.
I snip it pretty short, and I tie it. I tie the cloth over the bottom, and make it look like a nice little gift bonsai.
Perfect.
And I kind of feel the connection to the bonsai, like with myself and the bonsai. Feel that, can sense it, and I make sure I've put like a little bit more blood into that.
Then
I mutter something under my breath.
what do you mutter?
Let's see.
Ome wa shindoru.
Oh man, just when you thought we would.
Okay.
Oh man,
Remember, that's not a JoJo's reference.
I know that's a.
uh,
What the fuck's the name of that one?
Just scroll.
Alright. With this connection, I now bind
This is not,
traverse plains and all time. Wherever I
fifth.
look, I may now find this plant of mine. I don't know. Close enough?
That works beautifully. And then you do see, and you do feel as well, kind of like this synchronization between you and it. And as you close your eyes,
And I kind of sketch some druidic runes on it in the druidic language on the branches.
in your, I assume you use your blood to kind of
Yeah.
vision it. And then as you close your eyes and you sit back, feel it, and then you look towards it, and you can almost, and you see there's, even with your eyes closed, this small pinpoint of green light that leads you directly to the plant.
I think that'll do it.
Perfect. And that's, well, we'll go ahead and wrap up today. Lots of
Nice.
crazy things I didn't think you guys were going to do, but it's fun to have notes. No. So
I'm gonna put that in my inventory.
perfect. Yep. Go ahead and add
Zephyrs.
blood bonsai. Perfect.
I was thinking about bonsai trees the other day and how metal they are. Like,
Metal is-
if plants can feel, it's like holding a hostage and feeding them like the bare minimum till they're so tiny and weird they don't even resemble what they are.
You mean
Bonsai
miniature
is
pigs?
insane, right?
That's fucking hilarious. All right.
That's dark.
Perfect.
That's
Did you?
just bonsai, man. That's just
Now-
what it is.
3 drops water.
I
And,
Some
shall
water.
nickname
That's
him Seymour.
Seymour. Feed me, Seymour.
I was thinking of Jurassic Park.
All right, so I know that was a pretty like out of nowhere lore dumpiness. Did anybody have any questions?
Probably have him later.
No.
Okay, text me him if you think of him.
I just pretty much laid out the hour by hour of pretty much every single day that we're going to be spending in Khirn until we decide to not spend the day in Khirn.
All right, perfect.
So I'm going to be pretty
How
much
many-
out
how
of RP.
How many more days of resurrections do we?
There's planned an entire week, and you've done 2 days, so 5 more days.
Woo! All right.
Yeah.
I thought we had 10.
Probably
No, it
not
was
5 more
just a week.
sessions.
Yeah, probably not 5 more sessions. Like, we are gonna probably, if that's okay with you, Zephyr,
We're
just
gonna
kind of
fast forward.
reduce a little bit of the RP. I think we got some of the more fun.
Yeah.
Fun ones
We,
out
we
of the way.
got the basics, and I am totally fine with skipping.
Perfect.
like-
Look,
The
unless Bloodscale either sees racists in the crowd for these resurrections, or while wandering around town, he's pretty well done.
Okay, I'll roll to see, and then we'll act out the highlights.
We'll roll for the effects and stuff.
I'll have that ready for you. And then, other than that, thank you everybody for stopping by. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I know this was not a combat at all session, but hopefully
I
you
tried.
enjoyed it.
I didn't find racists.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you did not find any racists. But
Hey, I
He
stabbed
did
somebody.
set up for the
It's
fast
true.
He did. He
forward.
stabbed somebody,
Stabbed
and it was
Yeah.
completely inconsequential.
this is
Still
true.
counts.
All right, but
I
anyway,
think we all did good setting up for a fast forward.
yeah. This was. I finally. Right now. I feel like we've gotten to the point where I'm really more comfortable with it because I was afraid that it was just going to be too many unanswered, too many strings. But now I feel like it's really to a point where we can wrap it. So with that, we'll catch you all next week with more of this. I'll be streaming probably more of that new Star Wars game tomorrow because it was awesome.
Called?
Uh,
Star Wars.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, was it pretty good?
It is fan-freaking-tastic in my opinion.
And
So,
what's the thing that all the people should know?
All the things that people should know is check out the DM Emporium. It's our brand new website. It is your one-stop shop for all your D&D needs and accessories. No, it's got dice. We've got apparel. We've got dice towers. We've got terrain. We've got miniatures.
terrain.
We've got flock. We've got all the things you need to take
Goblets.
your basic game. Oh yes, drinking steins, goblets. We even have a chalice from the palace and some. Wow, that's a reference no one's gonna get. All right, but we have like all sorts of drinkware which can help you. Which, in my opinion, is really nice to have. Drinking like when you're in character at the table, it's just super fun. Just like a bunch of stuff that can enhance your game, bring it to the next level, and just really good. Christmas
Take
is
your
coming.
game to
Ideas.
that next level.
Level up.
Level
It's
up
easy.
game.
Give it
It's
that
even
bump.
easier than leveling up on D&D Beyond. No. All right. So
Damn.
Not sponsored.
not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Yeah,
not
sponsored.
sponsored. Nothing is
Yeah.
sponsored. This is not sponsored content.
This is this is true. So
I mean, technically, he could sponsor himself.
I'm not sure what the
Sponsored
Twitch
by
rules
DM
are
Emporium.
about any of that, so I'm gonna say not sponsored.
no,
As long
sponsoring
as
would
you
be
say that it's your company.
Yeah.
Then you're being completely
yes, yeah. And I
transparent.
am co-founder, and I do manage our Twitter. If you ever want to hit me up with any questions about the campaign, really active on it. And oh man, we hit 100 followers. So if you're still here, use the discount code TheFirst100, and I'll type that in chat, all caps THEFIRST, and then 100. That'll get you 5% off at the checkout. So we were super excited to get
5%.
kicked off, and
That's
we hit
insane.
100 Twitter followers on our first day, so we really wanted to celebrate it. So we decided come check us out. So other than that, it's been a crazy week. I hope you guys had a wonderful time watching, and we'll be back next week with some more of the continuing adventures of the Dawnforged Company.